totally sucks. Sound weird. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Ooh. Da, 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 da. Part 3, ladies and gentlemen. Part 3. Man, this is the second time I've been on today. That never happens. And it'll never happen again. I guarantee you that. All right. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Oh. There you go. All right, let me turn this crap off. Elevator music. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the lab. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz, and today we are going to do part 3. Yeah, part 3 of Mr. David E. Taylor, and he just gets worse and worse and worse by the day. He's a piglet. He sucks. He's a scam artist, similar to what we see these days everywhere, except except not anywhere, because they're prevalent everywhere. And this guy is a cult leader. Sound is bad. I wish I did. Don't did a stream earlier. So any better? Any better? Any better? At all? Perfect. Okay. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what's wrong, but do me a favor. Never mind. Don't do me a favor. I have a better idea. Okay, are you guys ready for this psychotic mental torture that we've been putting ourselves through? Is anybody ready to make fun of them? I certainly am. Why don't we? Hey, what happened here? Let's just do it.
We are back on the record at 5:37.
Oh God, he's already struggling with something.
Questions.
Hey,
who is Zoya? I'm not sure if it's Garcia or Garrica.
I want to see that again. All right, look at him. Look at him, big dummy. It's hard. I can't quite get it. My neck, my head's about to pop off because my zipper's so tight on my head, and it's making my hair fall out. Look at him, dude. I'm trying my bestest.
Continuing with questions. Who is Zoya? I'm not sure if it's Garcia or Garrica.
I don't even know at this point. If you've been following this the last couple days, at this point, I have no idea why she is asking him who anybody is, because he doesn't know who anybody is at all. At least he claims that.
There was someone who worked for the ministry at one time.
Somebody who what?
Worked voluntarily for the ministry.
Is she still volunteer?
No.
From what time frame?
He's got that word volunteer like in his, well, wherever the I think he's supposed to have like a napkin or something that's supposed to be right there, but there is no napkin. Like, you see this right here? You see this? Like, right here. I don't know.
11 to the beginning of this year or something like that. Or the end of last year or something. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a child with her?
No.
No child with her?
No.
Did you have a relationship with her that was physical, sexual?
No.
Objection, relevance.
Okay.
Well, because he's a scumbag dog who's been accused of sleeping with over 60 something different women in his church and using them. That's the relevance, Mr. Harvard educated, defending a fat clown, bald heady, stupidy face.
That's fine. You had no physical or sexual relationship with her?
No. No.
Pardon me?
What did you say?
I can't hear him because I keep hearing.
I said no.
Okay.
Because you keep hearing objections.
Yeah.
But he keeps talking, so I can't hear
So when I
both.
place an objection on the
So
record,
don't
stop
say
talking.
that. Okay.
Do you pay child support to a Diana Dean or Diana, she might go by two different names, Kershane, if I'm pronouncing it right?
I'm not sure. It's just a tax write-off. You're going to have to ask Michelle.
It's Courchaine?
No.
Objection, relevance,
No?
No.
Someone by the last name of Dorsey, Ildiko, Dorsey, do you know that person?
Yes.
And who was that?
She worked in the ministry years ago.
What time frame would you say?
In 1997 to 2003, something like that.
Okay, did she
To
buy you
2003.
Mercedes-Benz?
Same objection, relevance.
Okay. Did she buy you? You can still answer. Did you buy it? Did she
Yeah.
buy you?
Go ahead and answer.
No.
Do you have a child with her?
Same objection.
No.
These objections are so frivolous.
You ever had a physical or sexual relationship with her?
Objection.
Same objection.
Okay, that's
Relevance,
fine.
prejudice.
What is the point for all these questions?
I mean,
I know.
I can tell you later.
It's harassment.
No, it's not.
use the process.
Have you ever had a physical or sexual relationship with Debbie Frazier?
Object.
All right. So Debbie Frazier, folks, is the lady that donated the money to JMMI. And Mr. Frazier is there in the room right now, sitting next to the lawyer. If you remember earlier, part 2, where they're arguing about somebody making snarky remarks. Well, it's the guy trying to recoup the $1 million+ that he's donated to this ministry that's really went into his pocket. So she's asking him if he has ever had a sexual relationship with Debbie Frazier, and notice his like arrogance and it just the hubris at which he comes at this.
Or sexual relationship with Debbie Frazier.
Objection.
Can I answer?
Sure.
Of course not.
Of course not. Can I answer? Of course not. Look at that smirk on his face.
It's so horrible. So horrible.
You refer to seeing Jesus.
Yeah, making snarky remarks is more acceptable than tackling him and choking the life out of him or taking a nail gun to him. Yeah, I agree with you.
Just face to face. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, and what does that mean?
All right, so we're now entering the phase of him talking to the Lord and Savior himself, Jesus Christ, God, the Holy Trinity, or Jehovah Jireh. I don't know. It's kooky.
What do I do?
Yeah.
I'd love to answer that one. Well, I mean, he appeared to me in a dream like he's done people in the Bible.
I had a dream about God one time, and I wouldn't say that he appeared in my dream, and I don't actually think it was God. It was a dream.
Bible, and he changed my life.
And when was that?
When I was 17 years old.
Okay. And has he appeared since?
Yes.
And when would that be?
Pick a
I
day.
can't tell you. It's just been different years.
Different
times.
years. Yeah,
Can you give me an
I didn't.
approximation of how
Jehovah
many times you've seen
Jireh.
Jesus face to
I don't
face?
know. I tried.
It's just, what do I need to answer that?
Same objection.
You can still answer.
What do I need to? Or
Yeah.
Just,
Answer.
well, it's just been more than once
There
or
you go,
twice,
Jireh.
3 times.
I tried.
It's been multiple times.
Okay, just as an approximation. If you said this started when you were 17,
Yeah, I just rather not answer by numbers because I don't know.
Numbers don't do well with me.
you don't know how many times you've seen Jesus.
I can't.
You
I
don't
can't
keep
put an
track?
exact count.
Did you write a book about this?
Yes.
Okay, and did you say in the book that you had seen him 1,000 times?
No, I actually said I've seen him over 1,000 times
Over
in a
1,000.
20-year period.
Okay,
So
so
I don't
you were
have a
saying
count.
once or twice.
So he's had thousands, or no, God has appeared to him in dreams thousands of times. Numbers are hard.
Twice. It's really more like over 1,000 times.
In the book, yes.
You said
I've
that in the
said
book. Okay, but is that true?
It is true.
Your position is you have seen Jesus face to face over 1,000 times.
Yes.
Okay, what does it mean to see him face to face? That's a term you use, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, like you and I are seeing each other face to face right now. It's an appearance. The Bible calls it an appearance.
So he physically appeared to you? You have to answer out loud.
Yes.
So you said when you were 17, he appeared in a dream.
Yes.
Yeah, how's that physically appearing? It's not. It's a dream. And it's also a lie. Lying about a dream is next level lying.
You were asleep?
Yes.
Okay, so are you counting that as a face-to-face appearance?
Yes. That's what the Bible calls it.
Well, but you referred to you and I sitting here.
Yeah, but we don't want to know what the Bible calls it. We want to know what you call it. And I'm calling it a psychedelic trip.
But that was face-to-face, so I'm kind of confused by your answer.
I had an uncle that used to talk to God all the time. He was missing a bunch of teeth. He did crack cocaine.
If you mean while sleeping.
They'd say God was coming. You had to go talk to God.
You may have had a dream about Jesus, or if actually you're saying that, like you and I are here,
Mhm.
you've seen him face to face.
Well, the Bible records he does it in both ways.
No,
In
I'm
the
asking
dream.
you.
That's
your
what I'm telling
experience.
you. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm just asking your experience.
I'm telling you, I will not give you an answer if you cut me off. Now,
Oh, yes, you will. Oh, yes, you will, fatty.
I'm telling you that he has appeared to me in a dream. The Bible is clear that he can do it in a dream, or like he did to Paul, physically.
I'm not like a shamer of any kind, but I mean, he really looks like cased sausage. I mean, he's just like that. The arms of that jacket or whatever it is, I don't know if that is an actual jacket, but the arms are too small, the shoulders are too big, and then the chef Armani suit underneath is like it looks like like his head looks like the toothpaste and his body looks like the bottle of the toothpaste.
On the road to Damascus, and I've had both.
Okay. How many,
And then his hair is like what's spilled out of the
many
toothpaste.
times did you say it was in a dream?
Many times.
Many times in a dream?
Yeah. Should I answer? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a standing objection to relevance. can
You know,
prevent
I take it you're going to object to everything, so I just note that. You don't have to.
No, I'm objecting to relevance of prejudice on this line of question.
Right.
That's right.
All right, so the face-to-face where you have physically had Jesus appear to you, not in a dreamlike state,
Right.
but physically,
Right.
when was the last time that happened?
Same.
Should I?
Yes, best of your ability.
I think that the last physical time was in 2011 or 2010, where I was fasting and praying in the church.
Nice.
And where was that?
Oh, it was in a church
Right, where is that?
up north,
Up
in
north?
Port Huron.
In what church?
A church called New Covenant.
It's
And
more
who
of a
was there with
freestyle
you?
situation.
No one was there.
You
I
by
was there by
yourself?
myself. Yes.
And what time of day or evening was it?
It was more toward the evening.
And you were in a church by yourself?
Yes.
Were
Yeah.
you giving crusades or anything there?
No.
What?
Of course, God appeared to him while he was in a church all by himself. God's not going to show up when there's a bunch of people around. That's stupid. I thought this lawyer was quick.
Why were you there?
Just praying and fasting.
How did you end up in Port Huron?
I don't know how much praying he does, but I have an idea of how much fasting he does. And if he fasts as much as he prays, there's no way Jesus came to see him in the flesh.
Well, I have relationships up there with churches. And that church is very close in our organization. So
explain to me what happened on that occasion.
Same.
How about no?
do I need to?
Over the objection, you have to answer the question to the best of your ability.
Okay.
Fasting and praying.
He just appeared to me like he did Paul on the road to Damascus and told me what he wanted me to do.
So he physically appeared to you like your attorney sitting across from you, a physical embodiment of Jesus.
Yes.
That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, and you are liking yourself like to Paul the Apostle?
Not liking myself. No,
Yes, you are.
just saying those experiences happen.
But you keep representing or referencing.
I'm trying to give you a reference point so you can understand what I'm saying.
Didn't Paul have his head cut off at some point? I think he did. The Bible is very violent.
Tell me what specifically in the Bible refers to Jesus appearing face to face in a dream.
Paul had night visions. Although he saw the Lord physically, he also talked about how the Lord appeared to him at night in a dream
Night
in
visions.
Acts. Solomon had an appearance
But
from the Lord.
can you give me a site for it, like where in the Bible, not just the story, but
I'm
exactly where it is?
Yeah, Solomon in 1 Kings 3 and 5 had a dream appearance from the Lord. Well, that wasn't Jesus, that was God. Came to him in a dream and appeared to him and asked him what he told him to ask what he wanted, and he asked for wisdom, which is a very known story. And that was in a dream, and he awoke and he became the wisest in the world from an appearance in a dream.
Okay.
Let's
any
keep
other
our
sites you
fingers
can give me
crossed.
about dreamlike states that are
Abraham.
he's visited in?
Abraham.
There
Lord
was a
appeared-
dream?
Yeah, he appeared to Abraham in a dream.
Objection to relevance. What is this a test?
I mean, this is.
I know your objection.
No, but I mean, I'm going to state objection too. This is,
That's
you
fine.
are asking about a man's personal faith,
Yes.
you know, and his personal religion in a case that he's dealing, started out as a parenting time issue and suspension of parenting time. To me, this is an abusive process.
And
Okay.
It's
he's
clearly an
party.
abusive process. It's designed to utilize.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. What's going on here? Do we have big developments? Oh, God. It's going to pinch him. I already know it. How'd you get the beans above the Frank? Come on. Oh, no. What's happening? Can somebody... I'm getting nervous. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my, he finally can't breathe. Yeah.
For an improper purpose, a deposition, and if there's
It looks even tighter. It looks even tighter now than it did 20 seconds ago.
ever, you know, a case of where
Bloodhound,
somebody
you're
is
loving
crossing
that.
the
You're
line
loving that.
and utilizing the litigation process for ulterior motives. This is what's going on right now.
Are you testifying or objecting?
I'm objecting and I'm stating it on the record.
Wrong objection.
Do you have an appearance in this file?
Do not.
Okay,
I referenced what I was in the beginning.
I understand that.
All right,
But
so
you're not a
back to
party
the
and you don't have an
let's be
appearance.
productive.
Asking if you're making, like you asked,
You're-
if you're making.
Oh yeah, this is real productive. I mean, this is the when they talk about depositions 100 years from now, they're gonna show this as an example of how to run a perfectly executed deposition by a bunch of professionals. No offense to her, but to the other ones, yes. This
Making an objection.
Let's
Your
be
attendance
productive.
here is a courtesy.
It's not.
Thank you, John.
You're not permitted on the record.
Well,
Thank you.
I want to use the time productively, and that was a pretty long-winded objection that went on beyond an objection. So let's go back.
so shut up.
This, so you're saying Abraham saw Jesus face to face, but it was a dream.
He saw, he had a visitation from God in a dream, and
Not
he
Jesus.
saw Jesus face to face in the physical.
Okay, and
All
what?
right, guys. We're getting into the Holy Trinity now. We're getting into the Holy Trinity. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. He's going to use all of them too. He's going to bring all their names into it. God wants nothing to do with this. Jesus wants nothing to do with this. And the Holy Ghost, he's not into it either.
What is the biblical site for that?
It's in Genesis. I can't give you the exact chapter, but it's it was the chapter right before Sodom and Gomorrah.
Which
Is
one?
your
Well, which one's
ministry
Sodom and Gomorrah?
biblically
in?
based?
Yeah, of course. I'm quoting scriptures showing you.
Not
what it is.
exactly.
I am.
You haven't quoted.
Well,
You
they're
just don't
close.
know the scriptures. If you knew the scriptures, you would know what I'm saying is in the Bible is true.
Uh-oh.
You don't know them.
Dude, I wish I had a big piece of like Texas toast, and that was like the driest piece of bread of all time. And I'd shove it in his mouth, and then I'd hold water away from him. That's how I would get back at him. That's what I would do. But I'm evil.
You don't know what I know.
You couldn't. You would tell
You
me
don't
where they
know
are.
what I know.
You
It's
couldn't.
not for me to testify.
Okay.
It's for
Okay,
you.
it's fine.
How
Yeah, she's not the one accused of scamming a mentally ill lady out of $1 million.
many times would you say in the last?
Oh, and she wait a minute. She could bloodhound her. She could. I guarantee it. She'd whoop him like, oh man. She'd have every right to. He's about as rude of a person as you can get. He doesn't like authority. He doesn't think that he should even be having to deal with this, although he has to, because if he doesn't comply with a court order, they're going to throw him in jail, and which he's already been to jail several times.
Year since, or I'm sorry, in the year
Don't ever bring that up again, Patty.
2011, did
Just
you only
kidding.
see him the one time in up north, Port Huron?
Same objection.
Do I need to?
Asked and answered. He said the last time he saw him was in 2010 in Port Huron at New Covenant Church in Port Huron while he was fasting and praying.
This is just,
That was
a
the last
foundational
physical
question.
appearance.
So that's the last time you saw him. What was the time before that you saw him?
Same objection.
Tell us when you saw.
Relevance, same objection.
Tell us when you saw God, and do it right now. If he saw, I thought just a few minutes ago he had said that he would be happy to tell her, and now he's not telling anybody. That undercoat quarter zip is getting tighter by the minute.
Do I need to
Gentlemen, it's
answer?
just interrupting. I understand you're going to object
Do I
to
need to
every
answer?
single thing I ask. So
Yes.
let's just keep the flow going because we
Because
want
the
to get out of here.
probative value is substantially outweighed by the prejudicial effect.
That's how he's trying to regain power in this situation, by mocking her knowledge of God. She may not even believe in God. I'm just saying but he's basically saying, like, I'm a better Christian than you. If she is, and in the Midwest and all over the world, I mean, there's millions and millions of people who are, who are Christian, and he basically is just making himself seem like he's the superior Christian and that he knows everything.
That's fine. I get it. You're going to object to everything for every reason you can think of. Let's just keep this going.
No, we haven't been objecting
When,
until now.
no, there's a standing objection.
Every question has been objected to, so I don't know why he needs to keep objecting.
Which is fine.
I have a standing objection.
Right. So when did you see Jesus face to face before the Port Huron place?
For 2010, 207.
And where was that?
What do you mean?
Where did you see Jesus?
Or your city? Or
Right.
I was asleep in a dream.
So there was a dream.
Mhm.
And where were you sleeping?
On a bed.
In St. Louis.
At your
Mhm.
okay. And what was that experience like?
Well, he just basically appeared to me to share with me something that he wanted me to say.
I know.
I think they won the judgment.
I'm
I'm not
sorry.
sure
I
though.
didn't hear what you said.
He basically appeared to me to share.
But if the ministry doesn't have that money, like, eventually they'll have to pay whatever back plus damages. But yeah, I don't. Now he's surpassed this monumental scam and moved on to even bigger ones.
What he wanted me to say to somebody.
Oh, okay, can you tell me what that is?
It's private. It's priestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
object.
not priestly when you have a dream. That's
It
not.
is.
That came out of nowhere.
It's private. It's priestly.
That's private. That's priestly. Tell me about your dream. No way, dude. That's private and priestly.
It's not priestly when you have a dream. It's
It
not,
is
there's no,
priestly.
there's
You don't
no
know the-
privilege on
You
that.
don't know the word.
There's a
Yeah.
You don't know the word. It's priestly, dude.
there's a privilege on priests being required and called to testify
Exactly.
about what they say to parishioners.
In a
Exactly.
dream?
No, he said.
I asked what he said in a dream.
God told me not to tell you because it's priestly.
This is real. I'm going to reinforce.
I
this
can't
objection.
say
I mean,
that.
this-
That's
It's
fine.
Glad there's a
proprietary.
record.
It's not proprietary.
Yeah.
We're back to proprietary. It's all proprietary. Shit, that's the second time he's tried to use the word proprietary. And neither one of them were even close to being right.
Dream?
No, he said.
I asked what he said in a dream.
This is real. I'm going to reinforce.
I
this
can't
objection.
say
I
that.
mean, this-
That's
It's
fine.
Glad there's a
proprietary.
record.
It's not proprietary.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. I'm asking you what Jesus said to you in the dream.
I can't tell you. It's for a person that
You don't
No,
have
it's
to tell me.
private.
You don't have to name the person or name by a
No,
first name and no other
it's
name.
private. I just it's
Private between who?
under oath.
Me and
I'm a
God.
priest,
Duh. God told me something and he told me not to tell you.
so I can't do.
You're a
that.
priest?
Yes.
Okay, let's get
Objection. He's claiming
He's not a priest.
the privilege
There
during
is a
clergy and parishioner.
you're
Yes.
objecting to his term of calling himself a priest?
He's
Well, are
What
you
are you
referring to a
objecting to?
Catholic
Clergy.
priest? Because I'm not
What
referring
are
to
you
not a
referring
Catholic.
Catholic. He's not a Catholic priest, but he's
The
clergy.
Bible says we're
He's
kings and
objecting.
priests.
Proprietary means like ownership of I don't know, like property or something like that. But he says that everything that he thinks it means it's like, well, first he said that his books were open and it's all proprietary, which he tried to use the word. I don't know, dude. It's just not the right word. I'm getting lost.
Not
Privilege.
get everything. I
don't
can't.
blame you.
He's a minister.
Oh, well,
Yes.
let's go back to the culinary school. What educational endeavor
His nails scare me. I don't understand.
endeavors did you have after the culinary school?
Say that again.
What other educational endeavors have you had since culinary school, which I think you said was in 99 through 92? Where else did you go to school?
Kindergarten,
nowhere
first grade,
else.
second grade.
I've just been
third
full
grade.
grade.
So you have not had any theological training at all?
Oh, I have.
Okay, so did you go to
But
school somewhere?
Not to a university for that. I sat under other pastors and leaders.
Did you go to any certified
No,
school,
no,
seminary,
no,
theological institution?
no.
So you have no credentials that are
Right.
recognized.
Oh, I have credentials that are recognized.
Let me finish.
Mhm.
No credentials that are recognized that say you're a priest, which is what you said you were.
Not a Catholic priest.
I didn't
Not-
say Catholic, and neither did you. You said you
Yes.
referred to yourself as a
Well,
priest.
that's what the Bible called ministers of the New Testament. We're priests. You couldn't, that because you don't read the Bible. You don't understand.
you-
Or don't understand
Can
it.
you please have your?
We'll proceed with questions and answers.
Okay.
So you have no certificate saying that you're a minister?
Yes.
What certificate?
I was licensed in my teenage years in the Baptist church, and also in the Church of God in Christ. So I do have license and also have a doctorate of divinity given to me by Life University, which is a very prestigious theological seminary.
A
Because of
doctorate of,
big-
hold on, let me see, a doctorate of divinity
Tennessee.
by
He's from Tennessee.
Life.
University.
And where is Life University?
It's in Texas.
And did you attend that school?
University?
No.
So
I got
is
an
it
honorary. doctorate.
honorary? Okay.
Yeah, from my years of experience. in
All right.
ministry.
So you never attended Life University?
No.
Okay.
Bill Clinton, or not Bill Clinton, Bill Cosby, like has a bunch of those.
And you can't tell me any other theological institution, seminary, or the like that you've received a degree from?
Neither can Peter or the other apostles. But anyway, no.
what?
No.
Neither did what?
Neither can Peter or the other apostles. They didn't
Oh.
go to theological school either. But
But
I'm just saying,
we're talking about those back when Christ was.
yes, because
Oh.
Paul went, so there was theological schools back then, but Christ didn't necessarily take his apostles through that kind of.
When did you start calling
Process.
yourself the apostle?
Oh, I
Yesterday.
don't think it's the apostle. I don't say the apostle
Mm-hmm.
like you're trying to make it sound. It's just an office like a pastor.
It's an
or
office.
evangelist, like a pastor, evangelist. Do you read the Bible? I mean,
Do you want to correct him on
I'm
his
asking
interrogation of me?
because I mean, you can't understand me if you don't have any point of reference.
So you're saying that there is an office
I don't
that's
know.
referred to as
He says he went to
the
Life University, but maybe he's thinking that he could spend life in prison.
or as
have you ever
an
heard of a
apostle?
pastor? Are you familiar with pastor? Because an apostle is a pastor. I'm trying to answer
Could
your
you
question.
please?
Just proceed with questions
Okay.
and answers.
Okay.
And I'm going to object to the form of your question. It's argumentative.
Yes.
He's trying to explain that an apostle is similar to pastors, similar to ministers.
But it's-
similar to
I think you're
priests.
testifying, but that'll be. Let me get it from your client.
Well, you've asked him several times and
You
you're not
keep
getting
cutting
it.
me off. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't
Okay.
study, you can't. know.
Apostle.
Just answer the
Okay.
questions.
That poor water.
Now we're relying on the internet for your questioning.
Does the Life University from which you got your honorary doctorate, does that still exist?
Yeah.
What year did you get this honorary doctorate?
Actually, they just presented it to me this year.
2014?
Mhm.
Do you have a copy of that?
I can get a copy if that's what you need.
And you're sure it's called Life University?
I could be off on.
He doesn't know where he got an
There's a few
honorary
names.
doctorate from.
The place that gave you an honorary doctorate, you can't recall the name?
Right.
Yeah, that's human error. Yeah.
All right, so
So the guy that claims he's raised people from the dead and healed the sick and has face-to-face visits with God cannot remember where he got an honorary doctorate from.
you refer to yourself with what kinds of titles besides apostle?
Evangelist. I mean, we can just drop the apostle, just evangelist or pastor. It's fine.
And what a pastor usually refers to a church
Mhm.
that you're over which you're a pastor. Where would that be?
Well, I mean, I shepherd leaders and other pastors, so I train them.
But if you look up pastor, it refers to being a pastor over a church, a specific place.
Yes, so I would be more of a bishop, or that's what an apostle is, over churches,
So you're a
mentoring
bishop?
other leaders. Yes.
Over other leaders. Who made you a bishop?
Well, first of all, God did.
So that's through God. That's not through any religious organization.
Yes, I have many organizations that acknowledge me as that. So
No, usually when somebody is a bishop,
they go through a ceremony, I know.
there's a ceremony, there's a specific church or religion or denomination.
Yes,
Do any of those apply to you?
yes.
Okay, what denomination?
Church of God in Christ.
Church of God
In Christ.
and where is that?
I mean, it's the biggest Pentecostal black movement, black Pentecostal.
And they're saying, and you're saying they made you a bishop?
No, they acknowledge me as a bishop.
Okay, I'm not talking about who acknowledges you as a bishop.
Okay.
I'm talking about Is there anything other than you decided to call yourself a bishop that made you a bishop?
Other than, the Lord commissioning me to do what I doing then.
Okay, so you and the Lord applied the name bishop to you, but you don't have any other recognized.
Well, I would rather
Let me
not
finish.
use bishop.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you
I
said
would
that's what I
rather-
should use.
I go by more of Apostle Taylor. So
I thought you said drop the apostle. Now
well,
you're
so you
confusing
can
me.
understand. I'm trying to simplify things for you,
Not really.
but you don't.
But you decided to call yourself apostle.
No, I didn't.
Who did?
The Lord did.
Okay. When did he say you should be the apostle?
Yesterday.
The apostle. You keep. It's not like that. It's almost like you're saying, the pastor, or it's not a "the" in the front of it. It's just an office that denotes a work.
An office?
That denotes a work, like a pastor. The work of a pastor, the work of an evangelist.
You know
denotes a work.
anybody else that refers to themselves as apostle?
Yeah,
Who?
thousands of people around.
Thousands?
Yeah, thousands.
No, I don't.
Of ministers around the globe who go by that title.
Or name one.
Apostle John Eckhart.
And where is
He's
he
one.
from?
In Chicago.
It's my buddy.
There's so many of them.
We play poker.
So many, and they just decide to kind of anoint themselves as apostle.
Yeah, kind of. We have a apostle poker night, and then on Tuesday we play Monopoly. But most people don't play Monopoly with me because they don't like the way that I play. They call me Monopoly Shark, where I just buy all the properties up and taunt everybody, and then when I lose, I get pissed off and I flip the board over.
No,
You're
that's
being
not how it is.
argumentative,
No, I'm
and,
not. I'm trying to figure
it's
this out.
time to wrap this up anyway, because
I just think she don't understand. She don't know. She probably don't.
Can we?
Okay.
That needs to stop. Okay, like now.
well, it is because I think you're.
No.
Because he explained
It
that
needs
it
to
was the
stop with him making
Then you need to stop
commentary
arguing
about
with the
me.
opponent.
No. Please.
Okay, are we wrapping this up
No,
because
I
we
think we could
agreed?
go a few more minutes.
Well, we agreed that we would
I'm
wrap
not
up in
gonna-
time for me to
Absolutely.
be where I need to be
It's 7.
at 7:00, and I
And
need to
that's
stop by my office on the way, which is just around the corner.
I'm not going to prevent you from doing what you have to do at 7.
Well, that means I need to leave now. It's 6:00.
That's not what you told me before today.
That's not what I told you before.
That's what he said in
I
court.
said 6:30. I'm not going to keep you to 6:30, but
Well, I can't make it to 14 and Mound and stop by my office.
I didn't know
by
anything about your
6:30.
stopping at your office. That wasn't any
Okay.
part of any equation that I had.
Right.
So for the
Um,
record, I heard him say 6.
Not to me. And not
Yeah, I did to you in court this morning.
Let me ask you
All right, are we wrapping this up or
a
not?
couple minutes. Has Deborah Frazier ever given you any cash?
No.
Yes.
She's never handed you dollar bills in any form.
No.
Has she handed you a check?
No.
Never given you a check?
No. Everything goes into offering or like she's wired, but my hands don't touch the money.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Did you ever tell Debbie Frazier that Jesus appeared to you and told you that Debbie should be giving you money?
No.
Did you ever reference your face-to-face appearances with Jesus or your conversations with Jesus to tell Debbie that she needed to donate money in
No.
your offerings?
No, I've never done that to anyone.
You've never had a conversation with Debbie Frazier about her gifting?
No.
None.
No.
Do you know how much she's given you?
Yes.
How
I'm
much is it?
aware. I think it's $1 million or a little over $1 million.
And you never had any conversation with a $1 million donor?
Other than she gave it and I was appreciative that she had such a generous heart.
So you did have a conversation with her about it?
Yeah, I thought she was referring to before. You were
Okay.
saying before. The way you were talking was before.
Okay, so you can clarify it.
Yeah, so after I found out she gave that, I wanted to thank her for her generous gift, just like others have given like
And where was it that this conversation occurred?
that. At the church
What-
where everybody else is
What
at.
church are you talking about?
Taylor.
So you had a conversation with Debbie at the Taylor Church, thanking her for giving you money?
Yes. For giving the ministry money, not me. Not me.
Has Debbie ever shared with you any of her visions that she has claimed to have?
Yeah, she told me to give you $1 million.
Well, not only
And
that,
I
but it's
said,
privilege.
God
Okay.
said that you had to give me the $1 million in a dream. And dreams are real.
He's not a pastor. He has no
Look at his face. He's pissed. He has no credentials. She's like, he is not a pastor. He has no credentials. He's like, how dare you? How dare you say I'm not a pastor? I mean, if looks could kill, look at that. Look at that. That's evil.
credentials as a pastor.
It's not her.
He's self-anointed. That does not come under any priest, penitent, or pastor privilege.
All right.
I just,
Privilege.
for the record, a
It's not
pastor,
privilege.
there are different religious affiliations, and to claim the privilege does not require a particular.
That's right.
It requires that you're a minister or you're serving an evangelist.
Exactly.
It does not.
Well,
It does.
my objection's no.
That's fine. You can still answer.
No, he can't. This is privilege. You
Okay.
don't answer that question.
Thank you.
You're going to say it's privileged, all
Yes.
his conversations with Debbie Frazier, because he's a pastor that he is anointed himself
That
as?
particular question. Yes.
What particular question?
You want to repeat the question?
You don't know what I asked him if Debbie had talked to him about her visions.
Yes. And I objected based on privilege. I'm gonna stand
And
by
what
that
is your,
objection.
and your privilege is
He's a pastor. He's speaking to his parishioner.
Exactly.
his parishioner? Debbie is his
Member?
parishioner?
Parishioner, member, yes. You have the objection. He's been instructed.
I don't see any credentials.
haven't
he's
covered
been
that, but
able to
yeah, he's
provide in
done
this deposition
all
that
kinds
he
of
is an
stuff,
actual
yeah.
pastor. He's never been to any theological school, no
And
certification.
now you're
no
arguing
anything.
with me. I've
I
already
am.
instructed the client.
Okay, then I'll probably have to take that one to the court.
Okay.
We convene January 9th at 10.
Correct. Yes.
Good meeting you.
Brief deposition for today. We are going off the record at 6:05 p.m.
Good meeting you. Let me see here. Pew. Good meeting you. He's such a I hate him. I really do. Like I just can't. All right, hold on here. Let's see if he starts this one off any better than the last one. We're in for a long haul tonight. We're just gonna do it. And we're gonna do it. And we're gonna do it. Why is it buffering? It shouldn't be. Boom, boom, boom. Hold on. Just hang in there with me, guys. Oh. Ooh, I see L ring in here. And then we'll understand. Gives us to generate any money. Yeah. It gets like I think I've said this. It just gets more wild and more wild, more wild and more wild. What's up? Tap in. What's up, Lukey? Remember when I remember everything's going to crap around me. Okay, here we go. Get the best internet you can buy, Josh. What helps? It makes a big difference, Josh. Trust me. Mr. Salesman Man. Yeah. Mr. Salesman Man. Give me the best that you can. All right.
Yeah, I'm just dying. Okay, but I'm dying.
What happened? Okay.
We are back on the record. It is 2:29 p.m.
Mr. Taylor, you're still under oath.
Yes.
You
Would you
understand?
hold 10 seconds so I can sign this and have maybe, I can wait.
Go ahead, I don't care.
I'll just-
She's in his head big time.
I didn't interrupt you, sorry.
That's okay.
Get that done.
Okay. Ready? Everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Taylor, who is Ashley Ware?
She's a volunteer staff
I like how he has 3 cell phones like a drug dealer or whatever.
in the ministry on the staff.
She's a volunteer. She work full-time or part-time?
Yeah, she works full time.
And who is Christian there?
That's their child, their
And how-
baby.
How old is that child?
I'm not sure. Don't know.
Wait. In hold on. Why is what like why am I buffering? I really don't understand it. Am I good or what? I don't even know.
Infant or teenager in between?
No, I know it's definitely not a teenager. Young, very young. So
And who is Clifton Ware?
that's her husband.
Are you related to them?
No,
No biological relation.
no,
Did they live with you in 2013?
no, not in 13. No.
When did they live with you at any time?
Yes, they did when they first came, and that was more in 2008, 9, somewhere around
What do you
there.
mean
When they first came,
first came from where?
from Cleveland, Ohio. I kind of helped them out and their children.
Children or one?
Well, they had more than one, so
And so they lived with you
yeah,
in your apartment,
yes,
the 2-bedroom apartment?
hmm
Along, you have to answer yes.
yes. Mhm.
Along with
don't
your
worry.
2 children?
We're only 2 minutes and 39 seconds into a 2-hour and 1 minute. My God.
Well, my 2 children went there every day, so
So,
according to court order. So I have my children half the week.
so where would these folks stay every day?
I also had other friends in the city that I allowed them to go stay with, and they
You
opened their
allowed
home.
them? to
Well, they
stay?
opened their home to them.
What do you mean you allowed them to go?
Just misworded it.
Okay.
Mhm.
And your 2012 tax return, who's Brooklyn Mitchell?
Brooklyn? I don't know.
You don't know who Brooklyn Mitchell is?
No. Mm-mm.
You have no idea.
Oh. But
Never
he knows
heard
who
of that
God
person?
is.
No, Brooklyn Mitchell. Nope.
On your 2012 tax return, you claim Brooklyn Mitchell as a dependent or an exemption.
No, I don't think that's true or accurate.
Well, this is what you gave us today.
Yeah. Or if it's I don't know if it's there must be someone I don't know who that is. Michelle probably can answer that. I'm not sure about this because I don't do my own taxes. So,
You-
but I did carry them because I supported them that year. So, I mean, I know I supported Clifton and his wife and their children. I helped them.
You have no idea who Glenn Mitchell is.
No, I don't. I don't know that name, and I don't know why that's there. So, it could be something that I'm not aware of.
You wouldn't be aware that they were one of your exemptions and dependencies?
Well, I don't know. I didn't handle that, so I would rather you ask her about that, Michelle.
Ask her about your personal tax return.
Yes,
And
'cause I don't fill them out.
you said that Christian, Ashley, and Clifton did not live with you in 2012.
No, not in 12.
I've really been anticipating the Axe Michelle movement, and it's on its way. I really didn't deposit like that, but that is not a face. I mean, he looks like he's on the toilet. Let's just call it what it is. He looks like he's on the toilet. Shouldn't have double onions.
I don't think. I'm not sure. I can't. Maybe my days are mixed up, so I'm not accurate.
Well, you said it was
About
back in
everything.
08 and 09, not 12.
I know it's 08, 09. I can remember those times. Yeah,
But you, under oath, claimed all these people as your exemptions.
of course.
Brooklyn, of
Well,
course.
Well, whatever
we do.
happened in this was under oath and it was the truth. So, like I say, you need to go ask Michelle
Well,
about
no,
this.
I mean, it's your life. Your,
But it may be
hold
my
on.
life, but I have somebody taking care of this
Your-
part.
Okay, so these folks, none of those four folks lived with you in 2012
It's not true.
and in 2013.
I don't remember. I don't know what I'm looking at, so I can't
What's your-
answer
okay.
this.
I can't.
answer.
I
It's the
can't read.
1040 U.S. individual income tax return 2012.
I know
is it
what
not?
yes, I know what
Okay,
that
and
is.
this was given to me
Mhm.
by your attorney today.
Okay.
And on it, it has these four dependency exemptions, does it not?
Yes.
Brooklyn, Christian, Ashley, and Clifton?
Yes.
Okay, and you're telling me you have no idea who Brooklyn Mitchell is?
No, it may be a name in there. I don't know if I know their nickname or whatever, but I'm just telling you I don't know. So I'm not going to answer anymore.
All right, so who is it that you support? What is it you do to support these people? then?
Well, I mean, they didn't have a job and they didn't have nowhere to stay. So I provided food and clothing.
put them on
shelter.
my tax
I don't know who's telling me
dependents.
this.
That's mine.
So you
listing
provided
them
to
as
these
tax
four people
dependents.
food, clothing, and shelter?
Mhm.
You have to answer yes or no.
Yes. Mhm.
On your salary?
Yes.
And your salary is listed as $28,897.
Yes. Mhm.
And on salary, you're saying you supported these four people.
Yes.
These four people,
Yes.
including Brooklyn, who you don't know.
Yes. I don't, like I said, I can't answer certain things at this time because someone takes care of my 1040. But, I have money saved up,
Good for
so
you.
I can spend that money on helping other people if I want. So
How is the money saved up after you're earning 28,000? Where do you get money
Well,
to save up?
I save money from my paycheck some. So
Is that because the ministry covers most of your overhead
Yes.
yeah,
with your allowances?
that's the blessing of nonprofit ministry.
That's the blessing
Is
of a
what?
nonprofit
allow
ministry.
for different allowances that even though my salary may be low, I still can have a little bit extra to help a family like that.
My salary
So-
and
But your allowances,
my
like
IQ.
your car allowance and your housing allowance, those are taxable to you, aren't they?
If he knows, he's not. an
I don't
expert.
know. Yeah, I don't know all those things.
Do you report those on your taxes?
no.
I don't know if I'm supposed. I don't know.
You have
about
no
it.
idea. But you
I
sign.
have other people handle this for me.
But you sign your tax returns, don't you?
Yes.
I have to though. I think, yeah.
Okay.
You should
And so
do
you
have
sign
to.
them and you're not sure of what they mean?
Oh,
Oh, he's sure of what they mean.
not so much that I have professional people who know what they're doing. So
Who would the professional people be?
I don't know. You can ask Michelle.
She knows who prepares
Oh.
your taxes?
Yes.
We got an Axe Michelle. Oh, I love that. I love a good axe, Michelle. Let's see. There's got to be something. Dun, dun, da, da, da. I thought I had. Hold on. 1 second here, folks. I wish I had an air horn because I'd shoot it off. All right. You know what? Every time he says axe machine, I'm hitting the flare. That's all there is to it. I'm hitting the flare. Let me get the flare ready. Okay, that sounds good. All right. Flare for when he axes Michelle.
Do you report those on your taxes?
I don't know if I'm supposed. I don't know.
You have no
about it.
idea. But you
I
sign.
have other people handle this for me.
But you sign your tax returns, don't you?
I have to, don't I? I think, yeah.
Yes, you have to.
And so you sign them, and you're not sure of what they mean.
No.
Oh, not so much that I have professional people who know what they're doing. So
Who would the professional people be?
I don't know. You can ask Michelle.
She knows who prepares your taxes.
Yes.
You keep receipts for all the expenditures that you say you have for these folks? These four?
I'm not sure. Not positive.
Right.
When you give them support, do you give them cash?
I have helped them with cash before, but nothing large, you know.
What a bleeding heart this guy is.
Do you pay their rent?
Pay their rent. I mean, they were living with me, so I was
Not in
paying-
2012, you said, or 13. You said
Okay,
08
no,
and 9.
I don't pay their rent.
So you don't pay their rent. Do you
Wait a minute.
pay the rent?
Pay their rent. I mean, they were living with me, so I was
Not in
paying-
2012, you said, or 13.
Wait
So
a
in
minute.
08 and
No,
09.
I don't pay their rent.
So you don't pay their rent.
I mean, who doesn't give it up at this point in life? Who doesn't just say, you know what? The shrubbery's no good. The curb appeal's gone. It's time to whack the weeds.
Do you give them a check for some funds?
No.
No check. No check, cash but not large amounts. You don't pay their rent. Do you buy them food?
Yes. Mhm.
When do you buy
Sure.
food? How does that work? Do you give them money or do you go out and go do the grocery shopping?
No, I just give them money.
Cash,
My card, a bank
credit card?
banking debit card, or you know. But when are you saying do I do this? Because I don't do this now. So
Well, this is 2012
okay,
and
get to my. So you asking
2013.
during the years? Yeah.
Right,
So
where
that's
you
probably
claimed them.
yeah. Well, that's probably the way I did it when I did do it.
That's probably the way you did it.
Maybe I had cash. I have debit card. Or
You would
whatever
hand them your debit card
Yeah.
to go spend?
Yeah.
Homeless family of 4, you would give them your debit card to go. Okay.
Okay, and how much do you think they used on your debit card?
I don't know. I didn't keep that.
Was it your personal debit card or JMMI's?
Most likely it was my personal card.
Most likely, but maybe
Which means it was JMMI.
Yes.
not.
No, I think it was my personal.
Not JMMI's.
Mm-mm.
Just, you have to answer
The only
yes or no.
time they use JMI card is on ministry business, and they were handling a lot of ministry business, so that's separate.
So were they being given money from the ministry's debit card if they were doing ministry business?
Yeah, of course. In any time,
If they were doing, what don't you understand? If they're doing ministry business, meaning they say that we're going to the store to get paper towels for the ministry, but let's stop and have a steak dinner on the church.
Any volunteer does anything on the ministry business, they are able to, like if they're going out of town or whatever, they're able to buy food because the ministry takes care of all those expenses. It's normal.
So the ministry does, but not you personally.
Like I say, on ministry business, that's when the
Okay.
card is used. When it's something personal, I've helped them with my own money.
So are you saying that you provided more than 50% of the support for these 4 people?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they have nowhere to stay, nothing.
But you didn't pay their rent. You know where they were living?
Pay the rent. What do you
I
say?
asked you if you paid their rent and you said no.
No, I mean, they live with me, right? Are you talking about the times that they live with me?
I'm only talking about 12 and 13. So
Oh, okay. No, of course not.
of course not what?
I didn't pay their rent
Okay.
from my acknowledgement.
To claim them, you have to provide a certain level of support. So are you saying that you spent, or I'm sorry, that you supported them in more than 50% of their expenses?
It has to be if it's on that thing.
But you can't tell me how or
Yeah,
anything
because I
about
don't
it.
handle all those things anymore. I'm totally out of that. So I would rather you ask someone who knows. I'd rather just say to you, I don't know. So there's no proprietorship of me.
There's a
Line.
tax preparer name on the return.
Okay.
Did he just use the word proprietary again?
Okay, but what I'm trying
He
to
is bound and determined to wedge that God-forsaken word. He's an idiot.
figure out, and I don't want to depose him. I want to just get a handle on this. You're saying that this is not JMMI expenditures. These are personal expenditures that you personally, let me
No.
finish, that you personally paid more than 50% of their support.
Right.
So you claim them as exemptions, but you can't tell me how.
Actually, I would like to say I don't know. Ask Michelle.
Do you even know what you spent daily on these folks?
They would know because they handle all my personal and ministry stuff.
Who's they when you say they?
Well, I mean, Michelle handles all personal and ministry.
Anytime I hear her name.
How much have you personally donated to JMMI in the last 5 years?
Oh, this is good.
If you know.
Approximate, that's okay.
I don't really know.
$0 and 0
I can't
cents.
say from
I got you, David.
all the sacrifices. I can't say.
What does that mean from all the sacrifices?
I mean, the sacrifices of, giving up things.
No, I'm talking about financially, not.
Oh,
Money.
so no, I can't tell you. I
But
don't
you
know.
do tell people how much you've given, yeah, don't you?
I have told them the sacrifices I've made.
You've put a dollar amount on that, haven't you?
Oh, sometimes I've given up. Yes, I've told them that over the years I have given a large sum of money to this ministry.
Okay, so what sum of money do you say when you do that?
Well, you said not in dollar amount. I'm talking about in sacrifices.
No, you put a dollar amount on it.
I
when
know
you
because
talk.
it is a dollar amount.
Okay, then tell me
But
what
for
dollar
certain-
amount you use when you tell
Oh,
people.
millions. I've given up millions for this.
Giving up.
Given
In
up
sacrifice.
or only in sacrifice?
In sacrifice, yes.
Millions.
Yes.
How do you arrive at that figure?
Well,
I
mean,
lie
from
about it.
the opportunities I've had to do other things and that kind of thing.
That would have paid you over $1 million, that would have paid you
Way
millions?
more
Yes.
than
Really?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
What kinds of things would those be?
Well, for number one, I'm a chef. I completed my in
For number
college,
one.
a degree, and so I could, number one, have my own business, like my brother, who's a chef, does, and that alone could
Is he a
bring in.
millionaire?
No, but
Chefs usually aren't.
No,
that's
they're
if they
not.
don't write books and do multiple chains. There's a way you can do it. Where I know a lot of my friends who have did very
But
well.
you've said you've used the word donate. You haven't used the word sacrifice. When you're talking on
that's
your,
what I
hold on,
mean.
let me finish.
Okay.
When you're talking on your radio or your conference call or up on stage, you say, I have donated millions to JMMI.
That's right.
But you're not talking dollar amount.
No, and the people know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
'cause
you
I've,
think they understand?
because I've explained, of course.
Because you're such a great wordsmith.
You can't just listen to one show that I do and expect to understand what I'm saying if you don't follow
I've
the
listened to
ministry.
more than one show.
Oh, you got to listen to more than 3, 4, 20, or 100.
Well, then it wouldn't be a very good show if you have to watch that many to understand what you're saying. That is not a show that's going to be worth watching.
To hear everything. Yeah.
My contribution report for 2013 shows that you donated $42,000 to JMMI in 2013.
Mhm.
Is that true?
If that's what the report says.
How can you donate more than you actually have made in the last several years after a bankruptcy?
Because in this kind of ministry, people will walk up to me
Yes.
and want to give me personal gifts of this amount of money, and I give it over to the ministry instead of receiving it. And I have them write it out to the ministry instead of me.
So you're saying that isn't that a double dip? If you're saying that people go up and give you money and you say, write it to the ministry, and then you get credit for that donation, as does the person who made it?
Well, that's my personal way of showing also contribution of people who want to give me money personally for my life and to give it to the ministry.
Do you report?
Because he would have to declare it if it was a personal gift. You have to pay taxes on that kind of stuff. But if you donate it to the ministry, it goes to the ministry. And I can say that it's donated to the ministry, but just donate it straight to the ministry so I don't have to pay taxes on it.
Report that as gift income to you?
No, because I tell them to write it out to the ministry.
So he basically just is telling her how he gets away with it.
So how do you come up with $42,000 that you donated when it didn't come from you? It came from a third party.
Well, we use those records to show what I am, beside my tithes and offerings that I give out of my paycheck. We just show kind of what is being given to me on a yearly basis or presented to me, actually. So, sometimes it's higher or lower, but
People come up and give you cash?
no,
Never cash.
no.
Do they write a check out to you, David Taylor?
Have, but I don't receive it. I tell them to scratch it out and write it in the ministry's name.
But then you get credit for the $42,000.
Just shows that I channel that money there instead of to myself.
I think they did.
So you're saying you don't accept cash?
No.
If somebody were to give cash, who would it go to?
JMMI.
No, personally,
JMMI.
But whom?
Offering bucket, offering rate. I don't.
Well, if
Yeah.
somebody's going to give you $5,000 in cash, who
Mhm.
would that be handed to?
The people who take up the money and count the money.
Who's
And
that?
that could be anybody.
What
on
if
the
it
staff.
wasn't, you think, I'm not talking about somebody putting it in a donation bucket. I'm
Mhm.
talking about somebody's got $5,000 cash and they want to give it to JMM. Who would be the person that would be designated to receive that kind of donation?
Well, our financial committee, Michelle is over that, so you can just say her. Put
So
her.
Michelle would be who was designated to receive cash donations of a large amount.
Yeah, to put it in the ministry. Yeah. That's really I don't know how to answer that question.
Why?
I really don't, because it don't.
Because it doesn't sound good when you answer it.
People don't give like that. They give into the offering plate. They never give it to us personally. They give into our envelopes, or if they're going to put cash, they gives it in the bucket. So
It's
honestly,
not rare, you're right.
I think we should scratch that. We've never received money like that. The money we receive comes through donation plates, and then it's taken in the back and counted and deposited in the ministry.
So it would have to be at a service.
Yes.
So when Debbie gave you a couple, 1.2 million or wherever we are on that,
1.2 million.
she did it at a service?
I don't recall. I'm not quite sure when. I know she gave a wire
Yeah,
from what I know. It's so
a wire transfer.
yeah, and
So
people do that all the time in our ministry.
So how would that be that would be set up? Who would be doing that in your ministry?
I know Michelle is over that.
So did you talk to Debbie about this wire transfer?
No, Michelle.
You had no conversation with Debbie about that?
No.
Light it up, light it up.
Did you ever request or in any way talk to Debbie about contributions to the ministry?
No, I mean, I talk to everybody who comes to the meeting about that. So that would be yes.
Other than at a general meeting, did you have any smaller group conversations with her about?
Really, no.
Yes.
None.
No, not that I know of. Other than when she had already given.
See, that's the good deposition answer. Not that I know of or I can't recall. Kind of gives you some wiggle room, unlike his neck and his collar. I mean, I haven't seen that is one of the strongest, closest relationships I've seen since Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. I mean, that neck and that shirt have been through thick and thin, mostly thick, not so much thin, but we're talking Hoover Dam, rubber bands around a watermelon, just the mop bucket's way too full. There's a log in the wood chipper. It's like, so his cup runneth over.
Money and said she wanted to give. So I had Michelle finish up talking to her.
So you did talk to her after she had given money?
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to know what was going on. And so Michelle filled me in and I talked with her briefly,
So what did Michelle tell you?
Just that she wanted to donate and that she had given through wire and that kind of thing.
And so then you talked to Debbie?
Yeah.
And what did you say to Debbie?
I just told her thank you, and that was about it. And the ministry appreciated that.
Did you inquire of her the source of those funds?
No, because I never usually do that when people give money like that.
Would it be a concern to you if it meant that she was ultimately going to be homeless in the next year? Would it be a concern?
Of course, I would have never loved that. I didn't find out till afterwards about this.
What did you find out?
I mean, just what you were telling me,
What Mr. Potts shared with you?
Mhm. Right.
Anybody else?
I mean, this dude is definitely living on the bread of life.
Rick came up to me in the first court proceedings and started saying stuff like that, but I didn't believe him because of the kind of spirit and character he has. So I didn't really take nothing he said true. But when Mr. Potts shared with me certain things, because I saw what had really happened.
And what was your understanding of what had happened?
That she had donated a large sum. And she gave a lot of money that she didn't really, a lot of it she didn't have to give. Beside the stuff she has to pay for. So
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said that I found out that she gave a lot of her money that she didn't have to give. She couldn't afford a lot of that.
Did Debbie ever talk to you about her finances?
No, that's the thing.
Did she ever talk to Michelle, if you know?
No.
Did you have any understanding of what her financial wherewithal was?
No, we sure didn't.
Do you understand there's a court order that says she can't give any money to JMMI or any other?
If you know.
I said, did you know?
No,
You aren't aware of the court order?
no,
The court order says she can't give you any money.
no. This just was,
No, it's been in effect for a long time.
okay, no, I didn't know that.
Okay, she didn't tell you that.
No.
Did Debbie tell you that she was not seeing her children or had severely cut back seeing her children based on her finances?
No.
She didn't share anything about that with you?
The only thing I found out through Michelle that she had told Michelle is just that what her ex-husband was doing to her.
And what was that?
Well, basically just keeping her from the children and taking her to the rigmarole.
The
Do you understand that
rigmarole.
he can't do that personally, that the court has to issue orders?
The rigmarole.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Well,
Who cares?
That's
No, I want his
For
understanding
No.
For what purpose?
so that Debbie doesn't repeat.
Debbie's not on trial here.
No, it's
He's
not.
on trial here.
Not about trial.
What's it for?
Do you understand there are court orders issued from the judge about Debbie's parenting time?
Yeah, avoid
Um,
Kenneth
if you
Copeland
know.
too.
no, I don't. I'm not involved in that. But
That's a scary.
So
guy,
you were
too.
led to believe that somehow her ex-husband Rick is doing this.
oh, yeah.
Okay. Did Debbie ever tell you that she had violated court orders?
I don't know any of that.
She didn't tell you anything about that?
No.
Do you know if she told Michelle?
I don't know. You can ask Michelle.
Given, and you understand that
Double barrel.
Mrs. Frazier cashed out about $600,000 in retirement assets that generated a very significant IRS bill. You aware of that?
Now after they told me,
You weren't aware of it before then,
no, of course not.
but you're now aware that she's got a big IRS bill.
Yeah, I would have never let her give that if I knew that.
Were you aware at one time she owned her house free and clear?
No.
Are you aware that because she's given everything else away that she now has a significant mortgage that means she doesn't have any equity in her house anymore?
I think I heard from Mr. Potts or Michelle one that she's, I guess, got a line of credit off her home to pay years through what the situation that her ex-husband is taking her through. So that's all I know about that.
Do you realize she also had to pay taxes on the?
Yeah, I would have never let her give that to the ministry if I knew she
Yeah, I'm
paid
sure.
taxes. I teach people to pay taxes,
Do you?
pay their taxes to the government. So
The irony is not lost on me here.
That's one of your tenants? It's one of your tenants to pay your taxes?
yes,
Would you accept any more money from Debbie Frazier?
no,
Because it's illegal now.
You would not.
Yes,
going
he would.
forward.
No,
Have you told her that?
of course. I mean, since I found this out, I had a phone conversation and just told her, to I just asked her why she didn't tell us, all of these things.
And what'd she say?
She just felt like she didn't feel like she needed to tell me anything. She just felt led to give the money. So,
So you called her on her cell phone or house phone?
no, I had my exec Michelle called her for me and patched me in to
Okay,
talk with her.
So you and Michelle were sort of on a conference call with her?
Just
Okay.
recently, yeah.
When would that have been?
Maybe in the last week or two, something like that.
So you had a conversation where you told Debbie you're not going to take any more money
Yeah.
from her.
Well, I don't think I worded it like that, but I told her that she should have communicated better with her financial situation. And if she had bills to pay, like the RIS and things like that, I wouldn't have never taken the money in the first place
The
if I had known that
RIS?
information.
With the RIS, this guy has clearly never paid taxes before.
Especially that amount. Even if she wanted to donate, I would have told her, don't give this amount. You need to keep some for your life and that kind of thing. But I don't get in all of our contributors' life like that.
If somebody gives you a really big number, like over $1 million, you don't say to them, can you afford this?
I really haven't done that because I think it probably would be wise now through this to start doing that. But usually people who have given are very responsible and they can do it, so this caught me totally off guard.
Do you realize there are court orders telling Debbie Frazier that she cannot bring her children to St. Louis and participate in JMMI?
I heard about that. Michelle told me about that part.
When was that?
That was some time ago. I can't tell you when exactly.
Ballpark it. This year, last year? I mean,
Yes.
I don't
just
know.
ballpark.
I just don't know.
So you're aware that she can't bring the children to JMMI?
Yeah.
And since you became aware of that, has she brought them?
No. I haven't seen them around at all.
Did you meet with the?
Meet with them? What do you mean?
Did you have conversations with them?
I wouldn't. Oh yeah, they came to the church, so yeah, that at the church, say hello and
What else? What
that's
other kinds
about
of
it.
things?
Just hello and
Hello, what's up? How you doing? Does your mom have a lot of money? Blah, blah, blah. Is she going to give me $1.2 million? Blah, blah, blah. Is your mom going to be homeless? Will she donate $1.2 million?
just greeting them like I've greeted others.
Did you talk to them about face-to-face visits with Jesus?
In a meeting?
No, with them.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
You have to answer yes or no.
No.
Did you give them any of the books or DVDs?
No.
Did somebody else, if you know, from your ministry, maybe?
I don't know. Couldn't say.
Given that Debbie is basically destitute, you understand that?
I do now.
Yes.
Okay,
That's an assumption for the question. He doesn't know that.
Oh, he does now.
right.
Mm.
Given that you understand from
Okay.
Mhm.
us, would those be circumstances under which you'd be willing to give Mrs. Frazier back some of her money?
Objectively forming the question.
Go ahead.
Say it again now.
Excuse me.
He'd prefer not to. But if you're going to make them,
Hold on a second. Let me wire up again.
Given that you understand Mrs. Frazier to be destitute and it's impacted her ability to have housing, her ability to see her children, under those circumstances, are you willing to give Mrs. Frazier back some of her money?
Should I answer this?
Yes,
Wait.
go ahead, Nancy.
Yes. I've shared that with the board. I took what he told me back to the board concerning her present circumstance, and I would love to do that if we had the money. Presently, we don't, but I told them that I'm willing to, if the money comes in through what we raise, to support and help her, of course.
So he's going to pay back the lady through more scams. See, he knows he doesn't have to pay it back if he doesn't have it, unless the court puts a lien on him.
So would that mean you would give her a check back for some of the funds that she had given?
I don't know if we would do it, but we would find out the
Here's how we would do it. We wouldn't.
legal right way to do that, and issue her that.
Those funds, issue those
Yeah,
funds to her?
But objection to the form of the question. First of all, he's going to require guidance
I
professionally
understand that.
on how we can, should, otherwise, what source. So the concept is fine to talk about specifics. He certainly is.
I'm not asking him to
answer those kinds of questions.
Right.
Yeah. Has Debbie talked about relocating to St. Louis with you or with anyone that you know?
Not that I know of.
Has anyone talked to you about her oldest daughter going to college there?
No.
Katie? Do you know if she's talked to Michelle about that?
I'm not sure.
Are you aware that Debbie refers to JMMI in the presence of the children as their second family?
No.
Are you aware that Debbie had people from JMMI staying at her residence for overnight, at least some period of time?
Yes, I did know. I had heard about that.
What had you heard?
Just that whenever some come from St. Louis in town, that she let them stay there for a day or two.
Do you know how many people would be at any given time?
Just one, from what I knew.
And that would at times, you understand it, that at times that would be when her children were having parenting time with her back when that was allowed?
No.
You didn't know
didn't.
that?
Hmm.
Now, when you came into town, there were times, were there not, that you used Deborah Frazier's vehicle, or someone who was driving you used Deborah Frazier's vehicle?
Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't aware.
You weren't aware in whose car you were driving?
No. We rent cars when I come here. So if they switch up the cars, I wouldn't know, or I'm just going for the ride wherever they're taking me.
You have no input about any of that?
I don't handle that.
So you wouldn't recognize that you were repeatedly driven in a car that was owned by the same car that was owned by Debbie Frazier?
Well, I know what a car looks like now, but what I'm saying is during those times, I didn't know we rent cars. When I come in, they rent the cars from me.
Did you think it was always the same car that got rented?
It's usually different, you
Right.
know, but they usually rent the same kind of car too. So
you didn't realize it was rather regularly car?
because I was never in a car regularly.
Did she ever drive you around?
No.
When you say it's up to the board, now the board includes
Mhm.
Michelle,
Yes.
Yes.
you,
Yes.
and who else?
I'm not sure. You can ask Michelle.
You don't know who's on the board?
Totally. I'd rather get the accurate information because I don't want to be accused of answering falsely like I have been other times when I've tried to guess. So I just rather I'm telling you, I don't know. Just ask her.
How
She'll
many
let you know.
people are on the board?
I'm going to count that.
Don't know. Just
You don't
yeah.
know?
No.
Don't you have to have board meetings?
Yes.
Yes, we do have board meetings.
So can't you count around the table how many people there are?
No.
Well, our board also grows at the same time. So I just rather you just get that information somewhere.
The last time you had a board meeting was when?
So on the phone, I think The beginning. It's been the beginning of the year in January.
Yeah.
Can't exactly tell the date, but
Come on,
Who
tell
was
us.
on the phone?
Yeah.
How did you meet Deborah Frazier?
I want some more Michelle's.
She came to the meetings that we hold in
In
Taylor,
Taylor?
Michigan.
When Deborah Frazier volunteers, do you pay her travel costs when she comes to St. Louis?
No,
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 she's on her own.
yeah.
So if she said that she was being reimbursed for that, would you say that's not accurate?
If she says she's being reimbursed,
Oh,
then,
it's accurate.
I don't know what's going on there. I don't handle that part of the ministry.
But your understanding is she's
Who
not.
does? Who
From
handles
what I
it?
know, I really wouldn't like to
Tell us.
answer that. I'd just rather say I don't know.
But other people, you do reimburse and assist them with their costs, right?
Of course, but I don't always know who that is. I don't handle that part of the ministry.
All right,
'Cause I'm
so
an
would that be
idiot.
something that Debbie Frazier would be eligible for?
Of course.
And if you knew she didn't have any personal money or it was taking away from her ability to support herself, would that be something you would provide for her?
Of course.
Come on.
Would you provide her with lodging in St. Louis?
Give me an axe,
course.
Michelle.
How would you do that?
Well, just like we provide that for others, who, if they're on a ministry trip, that's if they're under the ministry banner, we take care of their expenses.
So if Debbie Frazier moved to St. Louis,
Mhm.
would you pay for her residence there?
No, we don't do that. We don't pay for anybody's residence
Except
to move.
yours.
They have to get a job, or, if they're going to relocate, that's not a responsibility the ministry incurs.
But it was for, you said, for the Ware family.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. They didn't have nowhere to stay for a few days or however long we were helping them. And then it found out they didn't have a place to stay. So I opened up my home to their family.
What a
And you had
good
never
guy.
met those folks before.
Well, it wasn't that. They had been in ministry for a long time. We got a chance to know them. So
How would they have been in the ministry? They
They
lived
had-
somewhere else?
yeah, they came down and was active for maybe a few months, and
Was active.
I got a chance to know them a little bit.
And then they came and you supported them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You stated in your last deposition that you would like to hire Mrs. Frazier.
Mhm.
You have to answer yes or no.
Yes.
Have you explored that?
Explore. What do you mean by explore?
Explore. What do you mean by that? Is it proprietary?
Whether you're going to hire her?
What do you mean by explore? What is? Can you rephrase?
Well, you
that?
said that you would like to hire her. So have you
Yes.
done anything about that?
Not at this time. We haven't added anybody on yet.
No, we're being sued right now. So no.
We have to wait till the finances is there for that kind of thing.
So when somebody gives you 1.2 million, where does that money go? To what?
It goes into ministry operations.
So it goes into running JMMI.
Hmm.
You have to answer yes or
Yes. Hmm.
no. So who has been on the JMMI?
Like and I know like we're here making a joke about it and stuff. And it is funny. Like this guy's a clown, so it's comical. But I mean, these kind of people really do so much harm to society and to people. And it's actually infuriating. And it would even be much more infuriating if he wasn't such a dolt and such a cartoon. But yeah, I mean, he is just not. He's just an evil, evil person. Very, very evil. It comes off as comical, and it is. Trust me, there are things about this that are comical, but he ruins people's lives. This is what he does, and he's very unapologetic for it. I mean, he ruins people's lives. He takes all of their money under false pretenses, and he uses God to do it. And he's still to this day doing it. And I just, for the life of me, can't understand why people like this. I mean, it's obvious to see what's going on. It's completely obvious. But because the laws are set up the way that they are for nonprofits, people like E. Taylor, the fake apostle, is allowed to operate with impunity. And it's not right. And I don't know what's worse, his attitude or the collar of his shirt. That thing, like, if you look at it, it almost looks like a little necklace. You know, when you get a zipper too tight and it just points straight out? That's what this thing's doing. It's flexing like
Role in the last 90 days.
Michelle Brannon is really the only one on the salary payroll, and myself at this time.
Just the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a good
Yeah,
thing
yes,
going
yes.
on.
Yes.
Don't mess it up.
Do you have a former or current FBI agent associated with Jan Mamai now?
No,
Has there been?
no,
Never had anybody with the FBI involved?
no.
At one point, your mother and father were on the JMMI board of directors.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
You have to answer yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you recall that time period?
Yeah, I got paid
I think
handsomely.
it was, I don't remember. I know it was a few years ago.
Rewind what?
So I think I'm not quite sure.
Then they resigned, did they not?
No, they didn't resign.
They didn't resign?
No,
You filed paperwork showing they resigned.
no. It should have said resignation.
And then in 30 days, they were back on the board.
No,
You don't recall that?
no,
They were on, they were off, they're on, and aren't they off now?
no. Yeah, they're off, but the way you were saying this isn't the way things happen. No.
What did they receive compensation?
No,
They weren't paid at all.
no.
Are they both living?
Yes.
What are their names?
Katie and James Taylor.
K-A-K-A-T-E.
K-A-T-E.
Not Kate?
Katie. Mm-hmm.
K-A-T-E, and you call it?
T-I-E, I'm sorry. Mhm.
Okay. And James?
Taylor. Mm-hmm.
And where do they reside?
In Memphis, Tennessee.
Where? Memphis, Tennessee?
Is James Taylor the same one that prepares your tax returns? Same
Yeah.
one as your father?
Mhm. He has an income tax business.
Oh, so your father prepares your taxes.
How
Now,
lovely.
he did it one time. We had him doing that because he has a very integral business. It's been around for over 3 years.
So when your dad did your taxes 2012, just a couple of years ago, he's listed as the tax preparer.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he's the one that made the judgment then apparently to include these 4 people as exemptions.
Yes.
Thanks, Dad. Awesome.
So you're saying that your parents were never off the board for any period of time other than when they finally came off now?
Yes.
I've looked at that document.
What a
Do you
nice
have it with
dad.
you? Okay. This. Okay, on June 18th, 2013.
What is that? Did anybody hear the dripping noise just now? Did anybody else hear that but me? Let's see. What is that?
Okay, on June 18th, 2013.
What the hell
Well,
is
let me
that?
ask-
It's creeping me out.
This.
Drip, drip.
Do you have it with you? Okay.
That's what I was thinking. His neck is starting to sweat.
This.
It's just diarrhea drip. That's disgusting. But probably.
Okay, on June 18th, 2013. Well, let me ask you first. Who is Bill Hody? Do you have it
One
with
more
you?
time.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay,
Thanks,
on June
Marshall.
18th, 2013. Well, let me ask you first. Who is Bill Hody? Do you know that name?
Yes,
Who
Bill
is it?
Hody. He is a minister in JMMI.
He is. What do you have to do to be a minister?
Nothing.
Well, you have to qualify
How?
basically through being trained.
By
Training. Well, in this case, I trained ministers, but he was a minister before I knew him. So in the other church they had, he was already a minister before he met me or
Is
our
it-
organization.
Does that mean he's licensed?
I don't know. You probably have to ask him.
Well, how do you just accept that he's a minister? How do you know he's a minister?
Well, I mean, I can see from the qualification of how he handles himself. And I've been in ministry for 25 years, so I know.
So you can just tell by looking if they're a minister.
Well, if I know they have ties to a reputable church before, and if they come and start working in our ministry and I see their expertise, then yes, I can tell.
You don't have to be ordained.
Well, yeah, you can be ordained, but the ordinations is not what makes you a minister.
So do you, when you accept someone as a minister, do you then do a background check to see whether they were legitimately associated with any of these places?
Yes.
You do.
Well, I just have people on the staff or board check backgrounds, do investigation.
Like
Or
what?
if I don't need that, if I already know the leaders who I already know are reputable, then I don't have to do that.
All right. So you're saying, how old is Mr.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How old do you think he is?
I think, not sure. I think he's 40. I don't know. Let me just say I don't
40,
know.
somewhere around there?
No, he's not 40. I'm just saying I don't know.
Okay. Do you know if he's related to Debbie Frazier?
Yes, I found out they're cousins.
And in June 18th, 2013, you paid Debbie Frazier's cousin, Bill Hody, $2,000. What was that for?
That was a ministry gift
What does
to
that
bless
mean?
him.
A ministry gift to bless him.
Honorarium. That's what we call it. Same of it when you minister or when you do any service for the ministry, we give honorariums.
And what do you have to do to get an honorarium?
Well, speak or minister, do some form of ministry in the church or ministry.
Do you give these out routinely?
If I have a guest speaker, or
If they donate enough money,
if I have somebody come and do a service for them,
It's $2,000?
it's not normally just 2,000.
More
It
than that
depends.
usually?
It depends.
It could be more than that?
Yeah.
And how long do they stay and talk?
Depends. Maybe a whole service could go for like 2 or 3 hours.
And you make $2,000?
Oh, yeah, that's not standard.
How is it not standard?
It's not. It could be more or less depending on the qualification or the donation, the work that they do that night for the Lord.
So how much you pay them depends on how much you receive in donations in some way?
yes.
Sometimes,
So you have,
but this hymn was not just any one service. It was just his involvement in helping the ministry.
in general, he didn't give a service.
Right.
And who makes that decision of who to give that kind of money to?
The board and myself.
Who else? Say your name.
So this was just a general gift.
Say it.
It was an honorarium, as I said.
Now, do you give Mr. Hody a 1099?
I think I did. I'm not sure. I didn't do it, but
Sure,
That's
on your
normal.
behalf, somebody
yeah.
gave a 1099.
Mhm.
Because there are lots of payments to Mr. Hody in several thousands of dollars over the course of time.
Okay.
Right?
No, I don't know if there's lots. I don't.
Well, they total
recall-
thousands of dollars, more than the two. Wasn't a one-shot deal. You acknowledge that?
I only remember giving or allowing that to happen maybe twice. That's it.
Okay, and it's your understanding that you do a 1099 to him and he's to report that as his income.
Exactly.
So each time that somebody comes and you pay them an honorarium or for just whatever you think is their
Mhm.
good guy or whatever, you give them a 1099.
Yes, that's what the law requires.
Yeah, we did request the 1099s, but we haven't gotten them. Maybe they're in the package tomorrow. In June of 2013, there's over $6,000 worth of charges for the Disney Resort Hotel in Anaheim, California. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And did you go?
Yes, I was there.
And who were you with?
Your mom. That's something he
I know
would
it was
say.
4 staff. I can't remember exactly who all went, but we were down there in Orlando for a meeting, and then we also went for vacation. Yes.
There it is. Bam. We were down there for a meeting and vacation. Well, tell us, where did you go?
To Disneyland?
Yes.
And the JMMI paid for that?
Yes.
And so do you report that on your income when you get paid for?
I don't know. I'm not into the legal part. I have people take care of that for me.
Do you give the staff 1099s for paid vacations?
I don't know the financial situation behind all
What
that. So,
4 staff members were there?
like I said, I can't remember who they were.
Oh, yeah. These were in Anaheim, California. So apparently you did Anaheim and Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Oh,
answer yes.
Yes.
So you
I mean, yeah. He's been to both.
took staff to Orlando and Anaheim for a vacation at Disney resorts?
Oh yeah.
It ain't quite like that.
Oh, it's
Okay.
You
like
know,
that.
so I
buddy.
have different staff that accompany me to different cities I go into. So when I was in California that year, and we went to Disney World.
Yeah, absolutely. SB has a great point here. That's exactly where this deposition mounted from, and he was trying to really help his wife, even though she had put them in a really, really bad spot. But yeah, you're right.
At the same time, yeah, the staff go. I treated them to that, and so the same thing in Orlando when that happened. But I don't just take them there. We
Oh,
are
he's been to
having a
both.
meeting engagement, and then on the time off, I allowed that to happen.
And JMM, I paid the $6,000 for the resort
Yes, mhm.
charges.
Of course,
Of course, even for the vacation.
yes, of course.
All right. So who was there in Anaheim, California?
I don't remember.
You don't remember who you went with?
No, it's been so long, you know, and I travel all the time with different groups. So,
And all on JMMI's dime?
well, that's you. What do you do when you have a staff who you need to go help, and they're not getting salary, but they're volunteering?
I know this poor lady. And people will just go, God, she's stupid for what she did, blah, blah, blah. And once again, I just ask that you think about this. It's really sad that somebody would feel compelled enough by a church to donate $1.2 million to where in the next year she was going to end up homeless. That to me screams mental illness and that she needs help and that she was taken advantage of. That's what that screams to me.
What they're supposed to pay their own plane tickets? No, the ministry take care of that because the ministry is using them on the road to do things. So we take care of basic expenses, and if there's a vacation thrown in there, which is not always, we allow that to happen as
And
a
you-
benefit.
And you pay for that?
Yes.
Okay. But you can't say if you issue them any kind of gift or receipt or 1099s for that.
No, I'm definitely not saying stupid, but she definitely, I mean, there's something there, you know. It's very sad. She's not thinking clearly.
No, I don't
Okay.
know the legal.
And so you went to both Orlando and Anaheim and paid for vacations for staff members, but you
Yeah.
don't know who they are.
No, I can't remember exactly who it is. I'd rather not say until we figure it out.
Were your children included?
My children were there with me in Orlando, not in
Yeah.
Anaheim.
And did JMMI pay for them?
I think so.
I know so.
I'm not sure. I don't think. I usually, when I go on a vacation, the ministry give me a vacation bonus, and it comes out of that. So
A vacation bonus, and I don't see that reported as income anywhere in your tax return.
well, I mean, you got to go to the people who handle that. They can explain.
You don't
that.
know anything about your own finances.
Not a lot. I have professionals take care of that, and people who know about nonprofit business. So,
Exactly.
but I can assure you, I'm not doing anything illegal.
Well,
Up for debate.
Everything we have is open, so it's nothing to hide. You can see everything we have on our papers.
I'm not sure that your conclusion is accurate.
That's
However,
your opinion.
Right.
That's your opinion.
Did Debbie Frazier go on either of the Disney resort trips?
Not that I remember. I don't.
You don't remember?
She's-
You said there's
she's-
4 people and you can't remember who they are.
I mean, it's been a while, and I have different people who will go, so I don't remember actually, but I know I had a group with me.
Do you go to Disney resorts every year?
Not every year, no.
But mostly?
Yeah.
No. Honestly, I hadn't been to Disney World in before this time, and probably, I don't know, maybe 3 years, 4, 5, something like that.
So where was the meeting that you had in Anaheim?
It was in Anaheim.
Where? And what organization or whatever?
I can't remember exactly where that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, on September 6th, 2013, JMMI wrote a check to Charter Place for $1,350 with the memo line recording it as T. Taylor's rent. Is JMMI paying rent for your ex-wife, Tabitha?
No, I don't know what that is. I can't answer that.
You have no idea why $1,350
No.
would be paid and it would be marked rent.
No.
There are actually several monthly payments, October, November, et cetera, that same year made to Charter Place with the same notation.
I'm not quite sure. You probably have to ask Michelle about that.
Does Tabitha work in the ministry?
No,
But somehow her rent's being paid.
I don't know about that. No, we don't do that, I'm sure.
Who would
Play.
T. Taylor be made for?
I'm not sure. You probably need to ask the financial advisors about that.
Well, let me show you.
Which
cancel
financial
checks we
advisors?
Received.
Okay.
Tell
It's
us
from
who they
JMMI
are.
Ministry, Charter Place, $1,350, September 6, 2008. It's marked, I'm sorry, 2013.
Mhm.
And it's marked in the memo line T. Taylor's rent.
Okay.
And who is this person's signature on that account?
That's a lady who's died recently, but she was with us for many years.
What is-
Marion France.
Marion France.
Mhm. Yes.
When did she die?
When I killed her.
About was last year, I think. I'm not sure the exact date, but
Did she obviously had signatory authority on this
Yeah.
check,
mhm.
a checking account?
Yes. Mhm.
And then, that's different, okay. Then there's a September 10th, 2013 check. $1,600 rent for Michelle Brannon.
Mhm.
And I'll show you this one.
Mhm.
You can tell in the memo line is for Michelle and it's $1,600. Is JMMI paying Michelle's rent?
I really can't answer to what this line of financing was for. So, you may see one thing but not know what's really happening. So it'd be better to ask Michelle and the financial,
Love
those who deal with the finances.
So you're saying that you don't watch over the finances at all, that you do not look at to see who's receiving money properly or improperly?
It's not true. I have a firm. My way of looking is having a professional firm
Who's
and an
that?
accountant to do that. Ask Michelle. She knows.
You don't know who the firm is?
I think I know their name, but I don't think I have it right. So just
Well,
ask
wasn't that
her
when your
about
dad
that.
was doing the accounting?
What you say now?
Wasn't that
Ask
when
her
your dad was
accounts.
doing the accounting?
What are you talking about? What are you
During
you're
that time
confusing
period.
two things. He was doing my personal income taxes.
He didn't do JMMI's?
He may have. I'm not sure around that time, but I also had firms or accountants.
Trying to get
Hold
these right here. Here we go.
So how many
Much better.
different firms have you had using your or preparing your financial information?
I can't answer. I don't know.
Michelle handles that.
Yes.
Okay, on November 4th, 2013, JMMI made a purchase of $9,560 from Amini's Galleries in St. Louis, which is a store that specializes in pool tables and game rooms and jukeboxes.
I mean, that is filthy. $9,500 for a pool table, game room for the residential center, aka his house.
What was that purchase for?
I'm not sure. You probably need to ask.
You have no
Michelle.
idea?
You probably need to ask Michelle. I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember what that's about.
I mean, that's just about a year ago. Did anything come into any of your buildings that was a pool table or something resembling that?
No, we didn't buy a pool table.
You didn't buy a pool table?
No.
No,
Did you buy a
it was a-
jukebox or ping pong or
No.
you can't
it was an air hockey table.
a $9,000
And you
expenditure?
can't go by, just the name of a company that sounds like it's a jukebox, because it could be something else they have in there that could serve ministry purpose or whatever's
Like, give me an
happening.
example.
I don't know.
You don't know what $10,000 would be spent on.
I have confidence in very integral people with our finances, so I trust them. So you would have to ask them.
So anybody on the board could authorize
Ask who?
that kind of purchase and sign the check.
Not anyone, only those who have the power to sign checks.
And who are they?
I don't know. I've shared with you. I don't know. Ex
You have no idea.
I know I'm one of them.
And you know Michelle's one of them.
Yes.
Anybody else that you know of?
No.
So Michelle would have complete discretion to spend almost $10,000 on something?
If she knew, she ran it by the board.
But you don't even know who's on the board. You can't tell me who's on the board.
Like I share with you, that you can ask all this information and they'll share what you want to know. But I have a process that people go through before they spend large sums of money.
Okay, but you don't know what it is.
Yes,
know
I
what the
do. They go
process-
through the board.
All right,
Things
you're
are
on the
approved.
board.
Yes, I am on the
So
board.
wouldn't that have been run through you?
Yes.
Not smaller purchases like that.
Not a $10,000 purchase? That's small?
No, the board can handle that kind of purchase. They can
But you are the
decide if
board.
that's wise or not.
Does it take a
You're on the board.
board meeting
There's not that many people on the board. It isn't like tons and tons of people.
to decide that?
Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. Golly, I got excited. Got fired up there for a second. Let me regroup here. Hold on. And go.
I don't understand if it would take a board meeting the way you're thinking of. Maybe they can have a phone conference, or if they are not all together. Because
Right.
this is a traveling ministry, so we are always on the go. So
All right, so how many people are on the board? How many people does it take to have a phone call with?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I've told you I don't know the accurate amount. Instead of saying something, I'm telling you I don't know.
All right, so when you're on a phone call during a board meeting, you have no idea how many people are on the other end of the phone.
I don't actually. I don't at that time. I don't know. At this time. I do not know how many people.
How do you get appointed to the board?
Well, you have to go through the right. I don't know if we've ever come up with any kind of process like that, other than credibility, for as myself and anybody who is qualified.
What does that
To
mean?
do
Anybody
something.
that's qualified?
Yeah, you have to qualify to be able to do ministry work. I mean, on that level. So,
But tell me what that means. You have
well,
to
I mean,
qualify.
to be an administrator, to be ahead in the ministry.
So how does one do that? I asked what the process was, and you don't know.
Well, I mean, first of all, I need to know their credentials and what they've done in the past.
So do you
And-
review every applicant for the board?
Of course,
Do they make a written application?
yes. and I don't know all the process. I don't know everything because I've stopped handling a lot of that over the years. So I have other people to handle those things for me. So I can't answer a lot of these questions.
So you don't know how many are on the board or how you get to be on the board.
I know the process. I know kind of what we look for, but right now, because I am so busy and I can't do all of the internal stuff, that's why I hired Michelle as an executive to handle this. And she was an executive at Weatherford.
She was what?
She was an executive for other companies before she came, or a good administrator. So I hired her to handle.
Okay, but don't you have as CEO and your name's kind of associated with this? Aren't you concerned that there could be people that
It's true. It was.
taking advantage of the money in the ministry?
Well, that's why I have CPAs and accountants who we hire firms outside of the ministry to go through the money to make sure that it's not happening. You can find out from Michelle.
Who does that?
Yeah.
And so
it's not that I'm not giving you information, like Rick is saying.
You're gonna have to ask.
I'm telling you
Michelle.
where you
Well,
can
you
get
don't
it
know the
from.
number of board members. You don't know who
Well,
they are. You don't know how they get to be, and you don't know what happens to make a $10,000 purchase.
As you get bigger in ministry, like what I do, you don't handle all of that. I'm a preacher. I focus on the spiritual aspect of the ministry, and I have professionals who do the professional aspect.
And that includes, that's Michelle almost exclusively, isn't it?
She's part of it. So,
So it doesn't bother you that Michelle can write herself a check for her rent and not clear it with you?
That's not the way things go. That's not.
Well,
you can
We got a
you can
check
say,
for her rent.
but that's what you're trying to say. You're falsifying information.
No,
Let me-
okay. Let's stop right there.
No.
If you're saying I'm falsifying
Ooh, that's what
information,
you're
I'll
doing.
pull the check. Give me the check. And
Just
you're going
because
to
you
tell
can
me
pull a check don't mean you're giving the right information. You're lying about that. What
I'm lying about
yes,
something?
just because that's there don't mean your opinion is a lie. So what I'm
my
saying,
opinion is a lie.
go to her and find out.
My opinion, her opinion is a lie.
What it's about. Don't show me the check again. I already saw it.
Don't show me that check again.
So you're saying I am lying that this says
No.
She's not lying.
Well, no, I'm not saying that you're lying about this on here. I'm saying that your opinion is a lie.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Your opinion is a lie?
my opinion is nothing other than
My opinion.
a check was written for Michelle's rent.
You just gave a connotation that, so you're saying she can just write out a check for herself and do this. That ain't how we operate. So when I'm sending you, go and find out. I can't tell you
So
all the
you
details.
can't tell me how it operates.
I can't tell you all the legal
What are the
stuff that
checks
they
and
allow
balances?
in the IRS for us to
Okay.
operate.
What
You
are the
could say-
checks and balances that you have
Mhm.
to make sure nobody's scamming the money?
A firm, a CPA firm
None.
who checks and audits our books.
But you don't know who they are.
No.
I know Brown Smith and Wallace, not Brown Smith Wallace. I don't want to say.
It's Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think that's what you're thinking of.
I get these names mixed up and numbers and stuff. But my
Simon and
thing is,
Garfunkel.
I am not evading
Brooks
the
and
answer.
Dunn.
I'm telling you where you can go get it. So what I'm sending you is accurate. So I don't go through this rigmarole with you all about this.
What I'm trying to say is
Mhm.
you have millions of dollars coming into this place and you're constantly asking for money. And you can't tell me who can write checks, who can make decisions about writing checks, and how those things get authorized,
Correct.
or who's on the board and who decides, right?
Because I've done this for 25 years and
Okay.
I've established from the ground, and I have things already put in place that I have to go back and check like that. Not like that. I have that system set up. So
What's
if you
the
want to know,
system?
ask the person who I have in charge.
And that's Michelle.
Exactly.
Oh, That one,
Okay, there's an October 24th, 2013
that one felt great.
check. JMMI wrote for $250,000 as a down payment for a Chesterfield home.
Mhm.
What does that go to?
That was a down payment to purchase the residential center in St. Louis on 10-page.
And that came from JMMI
Yes.
funds. Is there
Yes.
a mortgage on it?
Yes.
And who holds the mortgage?
Harold Lewis.
Who's he?
He's the owner or former owner or the person we're buying the house from.
Which is kind of nuts too, because if you think about it, did this guy have problems selling the property? So he made a deal with the devil here to where they'll pay him like $10,000 a month. It's just, I don't see a good, whoever's made that deal, the man that he just said, he has got to know who he's in bed with. It's weird.
So, but you're also, I recall you testifying that you're leasing this house, or the documents show, for $6,500 a month.
That's just a lease to own.
You don't have a lease to own.
Well, that's what our agreement is.
A lease to own?
A lease to own, and but yet he doesn't own it, but he lists it as an asset when they apply for loans to banks, because banks not only but a lot of the times they require collateral. Property is something that banks covet and hold in the highest value. And what happens is, if he can inflate his assets, he can then take out bigger loans from the banks. And that is fraud. It is fraud. It's exactly what it is. People go to jail for that every single day. I mean, it is fraud.
Our intentions is to buy the home, and that's what we're doing. And so that's the agreement,
What's the agreement?
that we're buying the home. We're purchasing the home, but we're leasing to own at this time. But the $250,000 is our earnest money to purchase the home.
Nothing has happened to him. It's still going on. There's still people trying to expose and get attention to this. There's been huge articles written about him, and he just keeps on going and taking advantage of people, and his net worth has grown substantially since then.
Who's Harold Lewis in this? How do you know him?
He's the owner of the home that was trying to sell the home.
Do you have a land contract?
Yes, I think we do. Don't quote me on that.
Well,
But
it's a deposition. That's what we're supposed to do, you dummy.
Joe would be the best person to answer that.
So you gave Mr. Lewis $250,000 as a down payment, and in addition to that, you pay him $6,500 a month.
Yes. The ministry pays that.
With Debbie Frazier's money. Now are you putting the pieces together here? That mansion that he bought, he put down a $250,000 deposit on, make $6,500 payments a month during the time that this lady who is now ruined and basically homeless and divorcing, her husband's divorcing her, all while he has bought a mansion with other people's money, because he is the end all be all. You got to understand the board, the whatever, Michelle has set it up in a way where this lunatic can do this. It makes no godly sense.
But you didn't provide us with a land contract. You provided us with a lease.
Okay, so maybe that's what that is. I can't.
I'm going to show you a residential lease for
Okay.
JMMI for the, how do you pronounce it?
Timpage.
Timpage property for 6,500.
And I'll tell you a little something, since we're talking tax evasion lessons with Josh. You want to know something else? Another way a lot of these people evade taxes is construction work. So he's talking about these buildings. Everything that he does on that house, every dollar he spends is written off. Obviously, they don't have to pay taxes on it. He calls it a residential center, but it's for the ministry. So what these guys do is they say, you know, we bought, and this would be more so for Michelle, because Michelle is really the brains here. But what they do is they'll buy like tiles for the floor, and they'll say that it costs, you know, double what it did, and then pocket the rest. It's a construction work. It's because it's hard to, I mean, you can get tile from anywhere. You can get tile or lumber, and it's hard to really gauge a really, you know, everybody's different. All construction companies are different. It's hard to nail down prices when it comes to construction. So what he's doing is when they put money into these buildings or whatever that he chooses, that whatever they do, it's all protected. It's all protected.
$500 a month in rent beginning November 1st, 2013 and ending on January 1st, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about security deposit of $6,500.
That's called washing money. It's either that's how they clean the money. And he could do it in two different ways. But specifically, he's avoiding paying all taxes through this nonprofit, religious, exempt, whatever.
You're going to pay lease of $6,500. It doesn't anywhere talk about recognition of a down payment or a.
Which should.
It should.
Yeah. Or if it don't, then, like I say, you need to. It would be good to go to Michelle. She's handled
This
most of
is $250,000, and you're not up to speed on what this is about?
I am up to speed on that.
And what
It
is
was a big purchase. I know what we did on that.
Does anybody remember Dumb and Dumber when they find that briefcase with like $1 million in it or something, and they get it open and then they start spending all the money, but they write IOUs and then they spend all the money, and when the crook comes to reclaim his briefcase, he finds a briefcase full of IOUs, and then he sees one that says Lamborghini $250,000, and they're like, yeah, you might want to hold on to that one.
What does this say?
Residential lease. This is lease to own.
Show me where it says lease to own. Show me
Right here.
anywhere. Residential lease,
residential lease.
right.
Also, you're just trying to say that what I'm saying, lease to own, is not.
It's
well-
not on this document, is it?
Well, I am sharing with you, this is the conversation we had with the owner of the house. And this is why we put down $250,000 earnest money for that, toward that.
Earnest money.
Where's
Put down $250,000 earnest money.
the document that says?
Well,
Because
maybe-
hold on, we asked for this.
Mhm.
The document that says you're purchasing that,
Yes.
where is that?
I think you should have that. I don't know
I
why
don't
you
have
don't.
it.
Well, maybe we can ask her about that. She should be able to provide that to you.
I would,
And I'll say, and I don't want anybody like going, oh, this is just what Billy Graham, the most popular evangelist of all time, I believe he went to every country and spoke and had the biggest crusades that anybody has ever seen. Nobody will ever see crusades that big again. He would pack stadiums out every single night for free. Had a very meek net worth in his death. Now, I know that a lot of people may not like the man, but he wasn't rich. He could have been. The donations that they received all went back into the crusades. And so they would use that money to travel all around the world and preach, which he didn't have like a Bentley or Lamborghinis or anything.
would like, if you can make note of this, Dave, I would like a copy of whatever the purchase agreement is or whatever document that shows the $250,000. Because it doesn't make any sense.
Just let me ask a question. Do you understand that these lease payments are to be applied to the ultimate purchase price?
Well, that's a question. What's
I
the
guess-
purchase price?
I'm just asking if he understands that.
Yes, of
Well,
course.
I mean, you
Do
just,
you know what the purchase price of the project
Yes.
is?
I do. It's
How much is it?
$2.5 million.
Okay.
And we are putting down a total of $500K. We've only put down $250 at this time. And the $606,500 is the lease. Now, as you know, that a lease for that amount of money. This was a personal situation we worked out with the owner.
I'm just
You know.
trying to understand what she's trying to understand.
Yeah.
it doesn't
well,
make sense.
Well, I mean,
And it's not legal, I can tell you that, because anything.
legal.
No, anything that deals with land
Uh-huh.
must be in writing.
Yes.
And you have a lease that expires in 2016.
I just don't think you probably have all the documents here, but we should have more than that. So I would rather you ask about that,
Axe who?
because we just got out of
What's the property called?
temp pitch.
TI?
Yeah, that's the. I'm sorry, that's the
Street.
yeah,
Street name.
temp pitch. Yeah,
But they call it the,
PAIGE.
they call it the residential center.
Mhm.
And the $250,000 check is written on October 24th, 2013. And the beginning of this lease is November 1st.
Mhm.
So it doesn't make any sense.
Is it 2.25 million purchase? Is that the
Yeah,
deal?
2.2, 2.5. Yeah.
2.5
Mhm.
is the difference. Okay. Okay.
So you put $250,000 down and then signed a lease saying you'd pay $6,500,000 a month more.
Yes.
Beginning right then and through January 1st, 2016.
Oh, no. He's not he's not the crafty devil. His dad, who is a CPA, told him to do it. He doesn't know how this stuff works. He just wants to know how he can get the biggest scam. That's what that is.
16, which is less, it's 10 months, 11 months away.
Yeah.
So what
That's
happens
the
then?
that's the interest rate on the home actually.
$6,500 a month is the interest rate you're paying?
on a, well, that's what he was paying on that property, on a $2 million loan against it. And I think he pays $5,000 and the other $1,500 was for the taxes. So that's just the 3% interest rate I think Bank of America locked him into. So we are starting to take over the home and show earnest money to purchase it. We took over also the
Earnest
the
money.
the interest payments a month.
Who provided this lease for you to sign? You signed it, didn't you?
I think I probably did. Yeah. Yeah. So
I think I
Who
probably did.
provided
Yeah.
it?
Harold and his lawyer.
And who represented you?
Well, I have a lawyer who's, we just actually had a meeting with him. And one of the things he did put in the contract that he forgot to mention was that was a down payment, which is supposed to be in there. Of course.
What do you mean,
Yeah.
of course?
It's
This
there.
makes no sense.
Then go to
None.
the right people and find out what you need to
Well,
know.
see, that's what my concern is. Debbie Frazier gives 1.1 million, and then you go put $250,000 as a down payment that's not reflected anywhere.
But
and
that
it
don't
looks
have to
like
be
you-
her
hold
money.
on,
We
hold
had
on.
other
Sir,
large
I'm not through.
contributors.
You have other large contributors that year that were over $1 million.
Well, they gave it in collectibles, but I raised that money on the road as much as she gave as well that year.
They gave it in collectibles. So people are donating their valuables and they're selling them off, people. They take money, they take gold and have it melted or schmelted or whatever it is you do with it and sell it off. That's what they're doing. That's what he's doing. People are donating their valuables. Not even if they don't have money, they'll take your gold tooth.
It was a high year for us, but
Because
I'm telling
she was
you,
the big donor.
so don't look and say that that's her money, because that money could have come from other parts of the money that came in that year too. So don't do
But
that.
don't you have an obligation to behave responsibly with these
That
donations?
is responsible.
Show
I'm
me
investing. You
Excuse
can't
me. Show me
do it
where the
by that.
$250,000 down payment and the rent to own comes in.
Well, I'd rather you get the information from Michelle, because the way you're making this look is not, this is responsible.
The way that you're making this look.
You probably don't have everything you need to see here. Maybe you don't have enough documents, but I know what we did. I signed this. I remember that. And I'm a very wise businessman. So
No, you're a scam artist whose dad happens to be a CPA, and you have a very smart person named Michelle who actually works for you. And she is smart enough to pull this off for you.
This would be in direct conflict with what you've told me is your intent.
well,
It didn't get reflected in this document that you signed.
you
at
can
the
say
same
whatever
time.
you want. You know, you can lie and do whatever you want. But
Sir, I'm not lying. That's a document
are.
you provided.
well, your opinion is a lie, you know?
Your opinion is like he's pissed. Like he's really, really pissed. Like really pissed.
We have total proof of all of this. So it's nothing.
And you'll provide it. Is that your,
Of
Mr.
Total
Potts?
proof, of course.
So when people are going to donate money, do you say we want to buy a $2.5 million house and that's why we need it? Do you give them any kind of notice of what your game plan is for buying?
No, actually, I'm very transparent with the people, with the money. They know how much comes in. I tell them, and how much we
What
raise.
people are you referring
The
to?
people, the when I'm in front of them, I share with them the money that comes in and what we're using it for. And I'm
Did you
basically
disclose that it was going for this $2.5 million house?
no, because I don't
Oh.
have to share that. But what I do share with them is our discussions with the banks, where we're trying to get a loan from the bank for about 2 years, and we were turned down by 15. And so
So you wanted more money?
they want to
You were turned down by 15 banks?
because they don't give money to they in this economy. They weren't giving money to nonprofits or churches. They don't want to do that. So we're trying to find out, what would be their road of integrity to show them earnestly. And so they said it would be good if we had purchased property and things that showed equity.
Right. Well, it's not that they don't want to, it's not that they don't want to loan to nonprofits. It's that you have nothing of value and they're not going to loan you any money without any collateral. So what you do is you like, well, here's how we can get some collateral for this nonprofit. When this lady donates the 1.1 or $1.2 million, we can go buy a mansion. And then when we go buy the mansion, but by the way, we can't even afford the mansion, but let's just put down $250,000 on the mansion. And then we'll have the guy keep his own title and say that we're leasing to buy it if anybody questions it. And then we can say, well, we listed as an asset, but it should have been a liability. Matter of fact, it actually shouldn't be. It's just, you're just renting the place. There's nothing legally binding here. Come on, guys. I'm working here.
And that's one of the reasons why the ministry purchased that home, is to start creating a bigger
I'm figuring it out,
portfolio
start to
before the
finish.
banks. So
You didn't accomplish that by that document.
we did. You just don't have everything here. So you can keep your opinion.
So you don't
Why?
tell them that you're buying the house. You just say, we need more money to show the bank we can borrow more money.
Yes, I share with them about purchasing real estate and just things like that.
But
Things that the ministry needs to do to become strong before the bank.
All right, so you don't say, we just put a $250,000 down payment
Oh yeah, I have shared that with them.
on stage in your group?
Yeah, I have shared that. Yeah.
I thought you just said, I don't have to share with the people. I wrote that down.
It was the context you said it in at that time. But you asked me now, did I share it with them? I said I did. I have. I'm very open about that.
All right, on March 17th, 2014, there was a check to Hope Jones and Associates for $7,500 as a retainer.
Mhm.
What was that for?
That was concerning, they are our, they're the ones that's basically doing the bank hunting and that kind of thing
The
for
bank
us.
hunting.
Or I don't know what to call it, but they're,
Oh, no, you called it right.
I don't know the legal.
Bank hunting. It's like doctor shopping.
Word to call it, but they're consultants and they have connections with the banks and VIPs. So
He just burped.
With banks and VIPs?
mhm.
You have to answer yes or no.
Yes. Mhm.
So you're using them to do what?
To
Launder
actually
money.
find a bank that would give us a loan so that we don't have to keep using our cash
For what?
for ministry.
You want to take out a loan to conduct the ministry?
No, to build what we need.
What is it you're building?
I mean, we have other things we need to do: television, TV studio, media, everything. So it takes money to do that.
So you don't want to have to keep using your cash for that.
Right.
So the cash that comes in the collection plate
Yes.
bucket.
Mhm.
Is that-
Is using the cash, yes, of the ministry. It's hard.
What should the cash for the ministry be used for?
Well, we want to be wise stewards with what God give us in the collection plate. So to keep just spending raw cash to purchase everything, it's hard. So we're trying to develop a stronger relationship with the banks to front us money so that we can be a more wiser investor with what we have.
Do you think it's better to take out a loan than to pay for it as you go?
Well, eventually it gets very hard. I mean, I think it's good you pay for everything cash as you start out and build a foundation. But if you're going to do bigger things, you need a financial institution to help front money. So
True.
it's
And then-
wiser.
That's wiser to you?
It is wiser.
And then you don't use your cash to pay the mortgage?
Right.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, if they give you a loan, it's going to be a loan, right? And you have to pay it.
Yes, but
Okay.
that gives us time. It's about time and raising more finance through time. So it just don't, I mean, large corporations do this. So I'm sure you know what that is.
And you compare yourself to a large corporation?
Well, that's not the point. The point is about wisdom, how money is used in a wise way to build.
Do you have a financial consultant?
Yes,
Who
they
is
are
that?
financial
That's
consultants.
who they are.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, on April 29th, 2014 and May 8th, 2014, JMMI paid over $6,000 for pool repairs. Where would that have been done?
That was at the home,
What home?
the home that we purchased, the ministry purchased.
The residential center.
The one that they're renting.
The residential center.
And so you had to pay $6,000 for the pool?
Yeah, some things were broken there, so need to replace some things.
$6,000 worth of the pool needed replacing.
Even though you're leasing that home.
No, we're purchasing the home. We're purchasing it.
Do you have a deed?
No.
No, I don't think so. We're purchasing the home.
So did you tell the donors that you were going to spend $6,000 of it, their donations to fix the pool?
No.
That's not how that works.
No, I'm sure it doesn't.
No.
Yeah, you don't
We
tell
don't have to
them.
tell them all those details, but if we purchase something that the ministry is going to own, we believe in keeping it up in excellence. So if something is broken, we need to fix it.
What? You know, he's just. Ugh.
All right, on July 22nd, 2014, you paid $550 to Elegant Jewelers in Birmingham, Alabama. GMI did. What was that for?
I don't know. I don't know what that. I have no knowledge of that.
Do you think you should have knowledge of it?
No, I have people who are taking care of that.
So it's okay for somebody to buy jewelry.
I don't think they purchase jewelry. You need to.
It's a jewelry
really,
store.
You need to really go and find out what that was about.
You need to really go and find out what that's about. Why? I mean, you could just tell us.
It's an Elegant Jewelers.
I don't know what that was about.
Okay. Was Debbie Frazier the
heard it.
beneficiary of that?
I don't know what that's about. I can't answer
You don't know?
that. No,
Do you tell your donors that you're buying jewelry?
we don't buy jewelry.
Okay.
What we do, we go there and we
sell jewelry. We don't buy jewelry. If you give us jewelry, we'll sell the jewelry. And jewelry, yeah.
we liquidate jewelry.
Jewelry.
I know that, but I don't know if that was the case there.
So
But we don't.
you
we
pay
have
them to
bought, We
liquidate?
have bought no jewelry from nowhere. From
We ain't bought no jewelry from nowhere.
What I know of, I'm not aware of that. So you probably need to go ask Michelle about what that purchase was instead of having another opinion that breeds lies.
Woo.
Mr. Potts, I would like you to, if you wouldn't mind, ask him to stop using that word.
Don't use the term lie.
Like a little kid, dude. Mr. Potts, could you please tell him not to use that? Don't use the word lie, David.
Thank you.
Just, you have a difference of opinion. She's not lying.
Yeah.
She's asking you questions.
She's not lying, but he is.
Okay.
And you just answer them. You don't have to volunteer information. Just answer the question
Okay.
if you can.
Okay.
Don't involve yourself in colloquy.
Okay.
On July 24th, 2014, paid $1,000 to the Smith Anderson Law Firm, and then another $1,000 on October 21st, and then $2,000 on March 3rd. What was that firm used for?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
No idea what you hired a law firm for and spent $4,000 on?
I can't tell you. You probably need to go. Thanks.
We did this one, right? Oh, that's true. Jeff Wiseman was an attorney you hired also. You recall that?
I think I do, but I'm not.
It was just in September.
In September.
He specializes in foreclosures, things like that.
Why would they need to? He's protected under. I mean, he's not going to jail. There's no consequences of jail for him. The only thing that can happen is the ministry will have to pay back the money.
Yeah, I think that's our land attorney with the temp age, because he stepped in to for the forwarding of what we're doing with the home. The other
For the what?
The forwarding of the purchase of the home that
What do you
we're
mean the
having.
forwarding of?
Well, the proceeding toward doing that. We were supposed to put 20% down on the home, not only what you normally do when you purchase a home of that size with a bank is usually $500K, but we only put down $250, and we're supposed to put down the other $250. And he's the lawyer that we hired. He's on up all the contract concerning that with that as well. So that's part of the purchase. That's part of the process of the, I guess, the other papers you need. So
you're going to give this Mr. Lewis another $250,000?
yeah, that's the 20% down on the
When's
home.
that supposed to happen?
I'm not sure. They all.
Well, if you've got the money to pay another $250,000, how about using some of that money to pay Debbie?
You don't have to answer that question. That's not a question. It's a statement.
You don't have to answer that.
All right, you testified at your last deposition that JMMI owns 3 vehicles, a BMW, a Mercedes, and a Bentley.
Yes.
Okay. Where is the BMW located?
It's in St. Louis.
Where?
At the residential center.
And what about the Mercedes?
Same.
It's at the residential center. And the
Yes.
Bentley?
Yes.
Residential center?
Yes.
And where are the keys to that located?
Same place.
In my pocket.
Have you driven those cars?
Yes.
Is Michelle?
No. We usually have a driver.
So what are those cars used for?
Basically, when I have guests that come in town, or anytime ministry
What'd you say?
events, anytime ministry events.
Anytime ministry events.
Ministry events. We have that kind of thing.
What do you mean we have that kind of thing?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You said anytime we have ministry events, we have
That kind of thing. I said that kind of thing.
Yeah, what do you mean that kind of
A
thing?
ministry event.
Yeah, what do you mean
Right.
that kind of thing?
Something, a crusade, or maybe a service, or some kind of ministry function, said that way.
In St. Louis.
It could be St. Louis, it could be here or other places, but usually we keep them residentially there in St. Louis.
So you drive like the Bentley to Detroit or Taylor?
No, don't do that.
All right, so are those pretty much used exclusively in St. Louis?
Mostly exclusive in St. Louis.
And you said, but you
He must not know what the word exclusive actually means. Because when you say mostly exclusive, that doesn't really, that negates the exclusiveness. You know what I mean?
use a driver a lot. I know you have a driver here today, two of them.
Yes, he
Yes.
does.
Mhm.
Why do you have two drivers today?
Well, they're not just drivers, they're just adjutants. That's
They're what?
adjutants or
Adjutants?
Yeah, they're
security.
adjutants.
You want to call it that?
What was the word you
security.
used?
Adjutant.
Adjutant. That's a church term. So let's just say security.
It's
Maybe you'll
security
understand
for
that.
whom?
For who?
Yeah, for whom?
For me, I guess. They're the ones that's here with me, right?
You require security?
Yeah.
No, he requires adjutants.
Yes.
Why?
Well, I mean, doing ministry or being in the public is very sometimes dangerous, and
People have said
we
the
have
same about me.
crazy people out
Although
there.
I don't call myself a
They
preacher.
have done crazy
Definitely not.
things. So,
To you?
well, try to at least.
Like what?
I mean, any minister that is in front of the masses will go through something like that.
You think that any minister has security?
I mean, the Pope has a
No, he
thing
doesn't.
that,
He actually
that-
doesn't.
yeah, that
He drives a Focus.
no, no.
Jesus may have not had bodyguards, but I believe it was Peter who definitely chopped somebody's ear off for him.
No, I'm talking
So
about that.
you're equating yourself with the Pope?
No,
Okay.
I'm saying that that little thing he buys costs $2 million, or how many of a millions? That's a bulletproof, right?
He doesn't
So,
drive that.
well,
Adjutant is like an officer or like in the military or somewhere. And then he says it's like a church term. Is like he probably tells them that they're soldiers for the Lord by protecting him or something.
somebody
doesn't
drives
use it.
them. Well, what I'm saying to
Hold
you,
on.
that
Pope
the
Francis
Catholic,
does not
let me say
use
this: the
it.
Catholic Church spend billions of dollars on security. So don't.
So you're saying that you're like the Catholic
no,
Church?
but I'm saying the little security that I do have, don't try to
He certainly
degrade
did.
that.
Yes.
Because
curious
there
why
are
you
places
feel
that
you
you
need
all
it.
know that have security, so it's not a big deal.
I personally do not know of one pastor that uses security. Not
Wow.
one.
That's not true.
Can you tell me any others that do?
Many.
Name one.
Pat Robinson.
Oh, you equate yourself with those folks, those TV folks.
Well,
Yeah, we're all on TV.
I mean, we're all doing the same kind of
Patty has his own problems.
ministry, basically, around the world. And so we have security because things
That's
happen,
great
so
information.
It's important.
I knew
mean,
somebody
I'm sure
got
you've
their head
heard of
chopped off.
people just coming in churches shooting people and stuff. So it's important to have that.
It's
Very
important to
important.
have security. Are
Security,
these people
yes.
armed?
No, they're not armed.
No, but if somebody tries to shoot me, they're instructed to guard my heart with their head.
So what kind of security could they provide? They supposed
Well,
to
they're
take the
just
bullet?
here to help. I don't know.
Well,
what you
no,
say.
seriously, what do you need a
It's so
security
hilarious.
force for? And can I ask who pays them? I mean, he's been there all day. Two of them. So who pays those folks?
Well, they're actually volunteers. Those two are volunteers.
And so they aren't compensated at all.
Well, I mean, that ain't, they
That ain't?
understand. They understand. I'm from the country, so I say ain't. So
They
But-
understand what?
they understand that they are
From the
volunteers and they're here to
country.
help. But they are really greatly blessed through this ministry. So they're not being misused like you're trying to assume.
No, I actually am. What do you mean greatly blessed through the ministry?
Well, I mean, they're compensated. So
Okay, that's what I'm
in their
asking.
own way. Mhm.
How? How do you compensate?
Well, I mean, I can't
Compensate in their
tell
own
you-
way. What does
I
that
can't-
mean?
I can't tell you that money is always the best compensation.
Okay, just
Other things.
Tell
happen.
me
So,
what they are.
well, they're getting blessed through the ministry and the work of what we're doing. So their families and their life. So
So they're blessed,
mhm.
and that's their compensation.
Yes, they're
to
blessed.
be one of them.
What would be another one?
I don't know any other at this time.
But you're saying you don't give them money.
Yeah, they're not on salary, if that's what you're saying.
No, are they
No.
given any money?
No, they are a part of the ministry, and they do benefit from being around and being in different events and things we do that blesses them and their family. So they're appreciative of that. It's something that you may not have
I'm just
respect
wondering
for. Mhm.
how they pay their own bills.
Well, you
If
gotta
they're
ask them.
volunteering all day,
They
You
need
gotta
to.
ask them.
but they're blessed from the ministry somehow.
You gotta ask them. That's their life.
The 3 cars that we've talked about, in whose name are the titles?
Then the ministry name.
They're all in JMMI.
I think everything except the
Apparently, adjutant means a military officer who acts as an administrator assistant to a senior officer, or a large black and white stork with massive bill and bare head neck found in India and Asia. I like the second part of that better.
Bentley.
Whose name is the Bentley in?
It's in DeWin McDill.
I'm sorry?
DeWin McDill.
I need you to spell that.
DEWINN.
DeWin,
Yes, McDill.
spell the last name? Is it a
M-
person?
Yeah.
What's the last name?
MCDILL.
DeWin McDill. And who is
If I'm
he?
not mistaken. He's one of the pastors in Montana that's in our organization.
Pastors in Montana,
Mhm.
and he lets you keep the Bentley in St. Louis?
Yes.
And who is authorized to drive that car?
The board.
A driver, anybody in the ministry, that's one of my drivers.
I have a question, just from you minister the poor and the sick and all that. Isn't it a little offensive to be driving around in a Bentley and a Mercedes to people that really, are impoverished and sick and ill and AIDS and drug rehab? Isn't it a little offensive to sort of being show placing what you have?
Yes, it's
Well,
very offensive.
You're one. I don't show this to people, and I'm not
Well,
in
Bentley,
that car. You don't see me driving around in that car every day. I don't do that.
but it's in
you
the
know.
ministry. Everybody
No.
in the ministry sees you. You said you drive it.
I haven't before. You just asked me have I drove it, but it ain't something I drive every day or even every year. I don't do that. I have drivers who pick up my guests, my high-profile guests, politicians, pastors,
Who would a
celebrities,
high
movie
profile
stars.
movie stars?
Mhm.
Who would the movie stars?
One of the pastors in Montana that's in our organization.
Is that
Pastors
what you-
in Montana?
Is that what you're talking about?
And he lets you keep the Bentley in St. Louis?
Yes.
And who is authorized to drive that car?
A driver, anybody in the ministry, that's one of my drivers.
I have a question, just from you minister the poor and the sick and all that. Isn't it a little offensive to be driving around in a Bentley and a Mercedes to people that really, are impoverished and sick and ill and
That's
AIDS
funny.
and drug rehab? Isn't it a little offensive to sort of being show placing what you have?
Yes.
Well,
Yes, it is.
you're one. I don't show place to people, and I'm not
Well,
in
Bentley,
that car. You don't see me driving around in that car every day. I don't do that.
but it's in
you
the
know.
ministry. Everybody
No.
in the ministry sees you. You said you drive it.
I haven't before. You just asked me have I drove it, but it ain't something I drive every day or even every year. I don't do that. I have drivers who pick up my guests, my high-profile guests, politicians, pastors,
Who would a
celebrities,
high
movie
profile
stars.
movie stars?
Mhm.
Who would the movie stars be?
Just different ones.
Well, name a couple.
I can name one: Richard T. Jones.
Richard, I'm not.
It doesn't seem. What you don't remember the trainer from the Mighty Ducks? Career got derailed by coke and alcohol, but we still pick him up in our Bentley.
Not familiar with him. Richard T. Jones is a
Mhm.
movie star.
Yeah.
What about another one?
That's the only one I have for now.
Have you ever heard of Rock Hudson? Well, his younger brother's sister's third nephew, or by marriage, but not.
That's the only one you know for now. Okay,
Mhm.
and when you say a high profile guest, you said politicians.
Yeah, but if
Who
it's
would
a
that-
politician, if
Name
there would
name
be
a couple
one.
of those.
Al Gore. You ever heard of him?
I used to what's Gil. He used to, but he's not no more. He's out of office now.
Travis Tritt, Kenny Rogers.
But he used to be the I think the Secretary of Agriculture in that place. In
The Secretary of Agriculture.
at the Capitol.
Secretary of Agriculture.
Yeah.
You picked up in a Bentley from the
No, I
airport.
didn't say I did that, but
He
it
came.
would be people who I would know like that.
Okay, give me a couple names that you'd need a Bentley to drive around. with.
Well, I can't give you that.
You can't.
No.
But do you see my point that people that
Mhm.
are suffering and giving you whatever their last dime is and
Mhm.
in donations and
Mhm.
drug habits, to have them see you drive around your high profile guests in a Bentley or Mercedes might be offensive and hurtful even.
It could be offensive if they didn't know my life, but they know
Oh.
my life. It would be offensive to someone like you who's trying
And everybody else in the world, David.
to make it bad, but
So it's
because your
important you have a
attitude,
Bentley.
it ain't really important. That don't make me.
Okay.
Okay.
It don't important. That don't make.
Then
me.
you also have a Land Rover that you lease.
Range Rover.
Range Rover.
Yes, it's not a Land Rover. It's
the much nicer one. Duh.
a Range Rover.
Which is the better one? I don't even know.
I don't know. They're just cars. So.
All right. Then there's a series of documents that total almost $50,000 to Limo Land in
Oh, yeah.
2013 and 14.
Now this one's my favorite. Limo Land. Wait till you hear this.
You have to answer yes. Instead
Yes.
of- Okay. Let's mark these as an exhibit.
I asked earlier, and there were 2 exhibits marked the first half. Do you want to start with 3 or do you want?
I'll show you that.
I gotta say, I think I'm not 100% sure. But I'm 99% sure that this is the longest live stream that we've ever done here on the lab. Ever. Just want to point that out. The longest live stream we've ever done here. Oh my God.
You can mark it as 3. And I'll ask you to identify. This came from Joshua Media Ministries, did it not?
Yes.
Okay, and it deals with October 1st to October 31st.
Okay.
could you acknowledge that on the top?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. October 9th, 2013,
Mhm.
there was $10,000 paid to Limo Land,
Yes.
and that's in St. Louis?
No, that should be in Springfield. Oh, not Springfield, Missouri, but in Missouri somewhere. It's not in St. Louis.
But it's in
It's in Missouri.
the state of Missouri.
Mhm.
You have to answer yes. or no.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, what was that for?
That was to cut the Mercedes into a limo.
It was to,
So what he's saying is that he took a Mercedes to Limo Land and they chopped the car in half and extended it into a limo. Listen to what I'm saying here. He chopped the car in half and had it extended into a limo.
cut the Mercedes,
Into a limo.
and who needs that?
No, that's for guests.
It's for guests, and for you,
It's mostly
when
for
you're
guests.
entertaining guests?
Yes.
When you're entertaining.
Well, not when we have guests come in, high profile people, we
Mhm.
we
You
we
have to have a
treat them
limo.
that way. Don't have to have a limo, but
Oh, what happened? I thought he was gone.
In a
we-
Mercedes limo.
we treat them.
You treat them?
I said that we have hospitality. Maybe that's a better word.
Okay, then.
And this is not the first one the ministry has had. We
Oh,
had
not the
another
first-
Mercedes limousine. Yes, right. So
What
this
happened to
is
that?
Look at that thing, Mark.
okay.
Which one? You can give me one.
What happened to that one?
I gave up everything so that I could do ministry on a higher level.
You gave up everything.
Mhm.
You have to answer yes or no.
Yes.
What does that mean, you gave up everything?
Well,
Means he gave up everything.
you know, I didn't have to, but I voluntarily reduced my whole life so that I could. That was in 2005 to 2007, so that I could.
About the time you filed bankruptcy?
Well, I had to because of the me trying to give up the home and some other stuff I shared with
What do you
David.
mean- What do you mean me trying to give up the home?
Well, I mean, basically,
You went bankrupt?
well, not really. I
Not really?
that was bad advice. Just someone gave me bad advice.
But
to
you
do
filed for
something.
bankruptcy and were
Yeah,
adjudicated
but-
a bankrupt?
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
just bad advice.
So you call
I didn't
giving
do
up
that.
everything, buying a
It is not.
2.5
no.
million house and having a Bentley and a
It is
Mercedes and a
absolutely
limo?
not.
That was years ago. What I'm saying. So
What
what
was
you're
years
trying
ago?
to say is you're not.
Well, tell me what was years ago. I don't understand.
I gave you the dates. The
When you went
years,
bankrupt, about that
2005,
time, you decided to scale back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but it wasn't. I didn't file bankruptcy.
Oh,
'cause
thank
we
you,
were-
Eve. Thank you for
because of
quality
that.
content.
That wasn't.
Five Head has given
Well,
us
no,
a
you had
purpose
debt.
to be here together.
Well, yes.
You wanted
Yes.
to discharge debt.
He certainly
well,
has.
no, it just wasn't that. Actually,
What
it was
was it?
cutting back so that I could reach more people in the ministry.
Okay,
and
you're gonna have
focus.
to explain to me how filing bankruptcy is cutting back so that you can.
I never said that.
Matter of
You're-
fact, this is actually a good point. He looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, do you remember those old school linebackers? You remember those old school linebackers? They'd have like the cowboy collar. Like, look at like like, have you ever seen a dog throw up and how it arches his back like that? Like, that's what he looks like right now. That's the vibe I'm getting from David Taylor. He's got to hurry up though, because he's going to have to climb up the bell tower and start ringing it here soon. There's oh
Putting
man.
words in my mouth. It's lying again. You
Can
know?
you read that back?
Yeah.
David, you can't say lying.
David.
Okay,
And that jacket.
where is it? All right, I just did.
She's lying, man.
Don't.
You know.
It's
Oh,
all lie.
I understand.
Oh my God.
Wait, I want to ask this one. So then you spent
Sick.
another $5,000. I'm looking for my
Did you want
note.
to play back, or are you gonna-
No, that's okay. I know what he said.
Okay, repeat that one.
Okay. So you paid,
Where, hold on here, sir. Yes, he is still at it. I believe more people are picking up on it though. I really do.
limo land, almost $50,000 total.
Almost 50,000
And that was
Okay.
for what? To make a limo.
to cut the Mercedes into a limo.
And
And
you
it
think that
became-
was a good use of the money that people donated to you and
No, it's not a good use at all.
JMI?
Well, I mean, the banks certainly have looked at that on our books as good because
Well,
it
thank you for
has
becoming
an
a member.
appraisal value of almost 200K, a little over 150,000.
What year is the Mercedes?
I don't know. I forget what year that is.
So did you at all mention to Mrs. Fraser that when she gave you over $1 million that you were going to use almost 50,000 of ministry money to make a limo?
No.
We didn't use her money to make a limo.
Did
We
you
had
tell
money
her-
beside money.
Yeah,
So
but did you tell her
yeah.
that you were, going to use that ministry money for a limo?
Again, I want to say to you for the record that her money was not used for a limo. We brought in way more money than just her
From donors.
donations.
Some donors.
It don't matter. The point is the ministry brought that in, and so you cannot tell us how we allocated that and use her money for that. So her money went into a whole system of things. So
But hold on. So, but you got this from donations and you decided to use it to make a limo.
we really
Yes, the answer is yes.
invested really good. The banks.
No, I'm
really
just
think
asking
that.
if that's what you did.
No, not the way you're saying it. It's you're fortifying, forging.
I'm forging?
Oh yeah, you are. I mean,
David,
with your mouth.
David,
Yeah.
just the question is,
Okay.
did you use the money for the purpose?
No.
The answer is yes.
So
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
you
You
donations
got the
and
money,
you
use
used.
the money.
of course I used
So
it,
that's
but
all.
Okay,
You
okay.
don't have to go through a defensive mechanism. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Where's
you got
this?
the money, use the money.
But what
Thank
about the
you,
way she's making
SB.
it
Don't worry
sound?
about that.
Thank you
Just
for
answer the
being here
question.
and
Okay.
you
I
know
can
your
deal with the
stuff
spin
about
part.
Mr. Taylor.
Okay.
You just
All right.
answer the questions and don't get argumentative.
Okay.
We're going to show
They are
you
great.
a bunch of
Thank you.
JMI bank statements. And so that would be 4,
You want them all four, or do you want-
all
or
4.
this is the same thing?
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
And they're going to show clothing charges
Mhm.
by JMMI.
Yes.
Do you spend any of your salary on clothing?
Some.
But not really. Yeah, it's true. He definitely did just buy a new mega mansion. He's still at it. Somebody's got to do something about this somewhere. But I know that there are dedicated people out there who have been on this man for a long time. A channel by the name of there was a guy in here the other day. It was the full frontal exposure. David Taylor. Check that channel out. And then there's the David Taylor Cult Watch channel. They haven't been active in 6 months or so, but a lot of quality stuff on there about this man. So he is still at it, unfortunately.
I'm just gonna hand her on the other two.
That's fine.
Love Pink says, thank you so much, Josh, for these late night streams. I appreciate you and everyone in the chat.
That's it.
Thank you.
Can you make that?
Thank you,
I'm
Love
going to show you
Pink,
exhibit number
for
4.
being here.
Okay.
I need. And on November 29th, 2013, JMMI paid over $6,000 to Louis Vuitton.
Yes.
What would that be for?
Well, this is for
Louis Vuitton.
clothes concerning my TV ministry as well.
Or you have to wear Louis Vuitton?
Oh, it don't matter what name it is. The point is clothing are allocated to us for ministry purposes as well.
What do you mean they're allocated to you?
Meaning that we take the money that is given to us and we buy really expensive stuff with it.
You know, in a media ministry.
In a what?
Media ministry.
Yeah.
Okay, or on the road when I'm always traveling and using my clothes, I'm sweating through them.
Oh
So
my
I'm
God.
needing
Did you hear
new-
sweating through my clothes? Who sweats through their, what is that? Sweating through my clothes?
Clothes also for television ministry.
Sweating through my clothes. Does that happen? Like, I mean, I guess it would if you're jogging outside in 100-degree weather, but you might, you're going to sweat profusely, but how are you going to sweat through your, what does that mean? Sweat through your clothes. I don't understand.
Through the years, so
And so you use ministry money to buy your wardrobe.
outfit.
Thank you, Aspen.
You're
It's called. It's allocated more towards
Thank you for joining.
ministry apparel.
Okay, and where is that kept?
In
In-
St. Louis.
In the residential
In your
center.
home?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, and do you get,
Like, I'm not saying like, but sweating through your clothes. So what is Louis? Does Louis Vuitton make moisture wicking clothes? I don't think that they would.
does that go into what your income
I don't think that that's a Versace kind of thing.
is?
I'm sorry. I don't
Do you
understand.
show that in your income that you got Louis Vuitton clothing?
No, that's not. That's
That
that
doesn't show.
because it don't go there.
It don't go there.
It don't
I
go
don't know
there.
what that means.
It don't belong there. That's out of place.
What's out of place?
You don't get taxed on things like that. That's for ministry business purpose. So it's not.
Louis Vuitton.
Well, it's you can call whatever you want. Like,
Yeah.
Well, then you had a month later, Men's Warehouse for $1,000.
Yeah.
Were these for you?
yeah, those were suits for the TV ministry.
And do you wear them when you're not on the TV?
No, only to minister in them when I'm traveling.
Right, when you're
So I
on
have a-
TV or otherwise you wear them.
Yeah, television ministry.
But not always when you're just on TV.
Always. Either I'm
Yeah,
being
I wouldn't
filmed
think so.
when I'm up traveling around the nation or
So
when I'm
like
at my
the clothes
TV
you're
station.
wearing now, are those
Under
purchased by
Armour is.
JMMI?
No, this was actually purchased by me.
Okay. Then you spent another $724 for the Italian collection clothes
Mhm.
in April.
Yeah, I'm always buying suits. Well,
Always-
not always, but
always
whenever
buying
we
suits.
need them. So,
Whenever isn't it just you?
well, I mean, because I'm the main one out front, you know. Other than that, I would sweat through all of my personal clothes.
Oh,
they wouldn't last long. So the
Who else
ministry
does the ministry
provides.
buy clothes for?
Well, the ministry team, if they need suits or things for uniforms for the ministry. So
Uniforms?
mhm.
What kind of, you have to answer
Suits,
again.
black suits, or anything that goes for choir or
So
ushering, or
your person out there that's a driver, did you buy his black suit?
I'm not quite sure if that was bought. I don't know if they paid for that one themselves, or I can't tell you. But we do. We have purchased suits for people because they work.
Thank you,
and,
Love Pink. That's so nice.
It could be wear and tear on your personal clothes and tear them up. So
So June 2014, you spent $3,500 by JMMI to Versace in the Bahamas. Yes?
I'm sure that's right. If it shows there.
And that was for closing for you?
Yes, probably. Yes, most
So
likely.
you don't see that there's any problem?
Versace in the Bahamas. I mean, it's just a terrible thing. Where's Michelle?
When you're ministering to the poor, the sick, the needy, to be appearing in Louis Vuitton and Versace?
Well, that ain't something I purchase all the time.
Well, it looks like you did several
No.
times in,
I mean, I'm a very frugal person when it comes.
He must not know what fugaral means. I think that's what he said. I'm a very fugaral
Comes to
person.
this, I go to the right places to get a lot of suits, and if I get some from those places, you don't see that.
you
in
don't
that
see, I don't
bill.
see Macy's.
No, you don't see that, because Macy's don't have the kind of suits that I wear. But what I'm saying is, this
Macy's don't have the kind of suits that I wear. Shocked.
these Louis Vuitton things you don't see in our charges all the time. We usually
Well, I
get
see
the
in
belts or
2000
something.
and the belts?
Yes.
In 2000, I see you're wearing a Burberry belt. Same kind of thing. You go to the top of the line. That's an expensive
What's the
belt.
way you're making it look quite true? Yeah.
2013 and 14, you spent over, JMMI spent over $30,000 in your clothes. Does that sound about right?
What year was that?
13 and 14?
Oh God, I was traveling so much and sweating through all my clothes. Exactly. That probably wasn't enough because just have so.
But they have to
I
be
just sweat so much that like you wouldn't believe how much I sweat.
top of the line expensive ones.
No, they're not top of the line clothes.
Louis
actually.
Vuitton's not top of the line?
Yes, it is.
Those not where I get my suits from.
Well, you got something
They-
from them for
yeah.
spent thousands and thousands.
Well, the belts are more lasting, so that's good.
Come on, you're buying belts for $5,000?
No, I mean I have
Okay.
multiple belts, not
Just
just
so the
one.
record reflect.
Yeah.
There's an entry at Joe Banks here in June 11th to 14, one of the bottom feeding stores in the United States.
Well,
So
how about
I'd just like to call your attention to that once you've
how
circled
about the
that.
Gucci store?
I'm talking
August?
about Joe Banks.
No, I will get to that. August 2014, you went to the Gucci store in Troy and purchased something.
Yeah.
What
Like
would
I
that
say,
be?
it probably was a belt or maybe shoes. I don't
Belt
know.
or shoes?
But I don't usually buy my suits from these very expensive places. I just get the things that I invest in will last longer, like such as belts.
Gotta go
or
to
shoes.
Gucci or places like that.
Well, no,
Yes,
I
you
buy
did.
those things from there because they have a better TV appearance for the belt.
For
and
asking for money
shoe.
from the poor?
Well, I mean, honestly, it ain't really like you're making it look. So,
Tell me how it is.
well, I mean, I don't think you want to hear what I need to tell
Well,
you.
it sounds like you have to drive Bentleys and limousines and
Dave?
wear Gucci
Dave, just answer if there's a question asked of you.
to.
Answer the question. The
Okay.
rest-
It's funny because, when she says this kind of stuff, she's really just digging at him because what she's saying, she's just pissing him off, which is brilliant because he deserves it. But none of it's going to reflect in the record. She says things like this, but she's basically just calling him out, telling everybody, it is what it is. Do you understand how ridiculous this sounds, David? And even he feels like, yeah, it sounds, you're making it seem that way. She's not making it seem anyway.
The rest of it's just
Okay.
byplay.
You like to look like money.
No.
Okay.
No, it's
You paid $1,000 to Mansour Clothing in New York, and then another 715. Whose clothing was that for?
where's that now? I don't understand.
August 1st, October 28th. Total of over $1,700 to Monsieur Clothing in New York.
Oh, trust me, Miss Marshall. He doesn't choose that. That is not what he chooses. He's just clinging on to life by that hair. And he is now in a posture. I mean, he's taking a beating. He's not used to this. He's just not used to being, tormented, made a fool of, and he can't react in the way that he wants to react, which is probably violently.
I don't know.
Oh my
that.
God. I hate that.
All right, let's talk about Debbie Frazier and the payment of your legal fees.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh
What is
my God. Sick. Poor lady has to sit next to that.
Debbie Frazier in any way whatsoever contribute to the payment of any of your legal fees?
Yes, but actually I didn't know she had did that until afterwards. So
What do you mean, when was it and to whom?
You don't have to answer that question.
okay.
Yeah, that's not privilege.
This is
If Debbie
anything
Frazier,
related to his legal fee.
Let me get to God dang it. Get off. But wow, how do you like him now? That's like it's like sporting his WWE belt.
Fees. How, what, amount, when, how? It's privilege.
I will ask the court about that because it's
I
not
think it is.
attorney-client privilege.
Once you start talking about how much, nature of the engagement, dates and times and places, it's privilege.
Okay, here there
You can
is,
ask questions that are not related to what happens between him and his counsel or
I'm
lawyers.
not asking about it between him and his
Yes, you are.
counsel.
You're
No,
getting,
no, no.
you're getting
I asked
right there.
who paid it. Now, for example, August 27th,
You can say
2000.
if he knows that someone pay a sum certain.
I think there's another part. And we've came this far. I'm not going to do it tonight, but we've came this far because we got to do Michelle. We got to do the Michelle thing too. And it's just like it's mandatory almost.
On a date. If he
This is like a religious experience for all of us.
if he knows, if he doesn't know, then he can't answer the question.
Right. What you said was you didn't know it at the time, but you became aware of it later. Correct?
Do I?
That's what
answer
he
that
said.
question.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
you can answer
And
that question.
what did you find out later?
Objection.
On what basis?
Privilege.
Oh, we will.
Attorney-client
We have to.
I don't think it's an attorney.
do.
Well, hold on.
That I do. I really do.
Debbie Frazier.
No, what did he determine about payment of his attorney fees?
I'm asking him what he found out about Debbie Frazier.
What she told him, if she told him anything.
However,
Eh.
do you know that Debbie Frazier paid your attorney fees?
If you know.
Yes, I found out.
Yes, you found that out in the amount of $7,500.
I don't know exactly how much it was. but-
Well, there's August 2014. There is a $7,500.
Oh, are we
deposit.
keeping you awake, Mr. Taylor? Very sorry.
And then in September 2000, I gotta remake. Actually, I have fake lenses in there that are supposed to be able to let me do this. On the same day, in comes $7,500 and out goes $7,500. Frazier versus Frazier retainer fee for Hurt Schramm.
Oh, no
So
question.
is it your
Patty.
understanding, and this is jam of
No
mine,
question. He's
documents,
nuts.
that Debbie Frazier gave you the $7,500 or on your behalf?
Not that I know of. No.
Well, what did you find out later?
I just found out that she paid for some legal fees for me to have an attorney. So that
Is
I
that
mean, all
all?
the details I know. Yeah,
Would,
that's
would
all I
that
know.
be the Hurt Schramm people or some other lawsuit?
Oh, the fire and brimstone, God tells you to donate half of everything that you like. That's one of his things is like donate half. If you have $100,000, he wants you to donate 50,000. That's what God commands.
So
I don't.
And I believe it's like 10% is the standard, I believe. If somebody is tithing, but it doesn't even have to be money wise. It can be like anyway, like if you wanted to go work at the church, it's all very.
No, I'm not sure.
well, is there some other lawsuit you're involved in?
Not that I know. I'm not.
Oh.
I'm sure there is.
Okay, so was it your understanding that Debbie Frazier paid your legal fees to Hurt Schramm as invoiced in and out on
Honestly,
the JMMI?
I don't know who it was given to. I just heard that it happened. So you probably want to ask Michelle that.
When did you hear this?
I can't remember. I don't know exactly.
Who'd you
when.
hear it from?
Michelle shared it with me.
So Michelle told you that Debbie Frazier paid your legal fees.
Yeah.
And
But like that, here's the thing about the 10%. So like if you go to a church and it's a small church and the people that go to that church donate or tithe to keep, the lights going and to upgrades on the building and things like that. Boom. I can understand that. I can understand if somebody wants to donate to an actual church where they want new pews or I'm very familiar with all that stuff, but I mean, this is just ridiculous.
And you see this here where it says $7,500 coming in,
Okay, I see that.
and
What-
the same day,
What is this now? Is this what
this is
count
from
this?
you. This is JMMI.
Oh, okay.
And then,
We gotta-
Colleen is
This
fourth.
goes-
okay,
He's gotta change the disk, right? So we can change the disk on here like this.
Great.
okay.
It's a great
Okay.
time to stop.
We're going off the record. It is 4:30 PM.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Boom. Well, there it was. I believe there's one more part. We'll hit it up another time soon because let's just get through it because it's fascinating, but it's also insane. It's sad. Yeah, I just sneezed. I don't know why. That was not good. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. We'll do this again maybe tomorrow. Let me get some outro music. Don't Feeding the Ducks. I like Feeding the Ducks. Into Space is good. A lot worse than I thought. I think this is the one from the other. KWA9M. Channel 3. On your broadcast. For your night ride home. I am your host, Josh Giz. And this has been Sweet 60s, Sounds of Summer. The summer of 69. Throw your inhibitions to the wind. Twin Peaks. Everything's gonna be alright. Love is love is love. Summer of love. You're rocking with me and I'm rocking with you. Oh boy. Welcome to breakfast. KIE bringing nothing but the hits. Nothing but the hits. Nothing but the hits.